to Coors Light Fox College Football.
Welcome to the Sooner Sports Network, powered by Fox for Sooner Football. Tonight at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, the 5th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners will face the Rattlers of Florida A&M. They come in at 0-1. Welcome, everyone. Bill Land along with Dave Lapham. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Sooner fans got a little nervous. High ranking for the preseason. Go down to UTEP and only win 24-7. But if you talk to the team and the players and coaches, they all say we can play a lot better. We usually start with a quarterback. In this case, we should. He's the star of this club, Landry Jones.
And he'll tell you he can play a lot better, too. Every position group was inconsistent, including quarterback Landry Jones. I think, though, that he will play very, very well tonight. He changed his body this offseason. Stronger arm, more mobile in and out of the pocket. I think he's going to have a big, big season. I think he's going to have a very, very impressive game tonight. There's no question about this guy's ability to throw the football and get the ball deep to all quadrants of the field. Here's what I'm talking about movement-wise. It's out of the pocket. He buys himself time and space. Gets the ball down the field to Kenny Stills on the wheel route for a 68-yard touchdown pass, taking the top off the defense. That's very big. Then the next, you go to your tight end for another touchdown pass. He has to have trust and faith in his receivers. He's got rhythm and timing with Kenny Stills. Not with Brown yet, because Brown, he's more familiar with Penn State's offense and the tempo. Still getting used to Oklahoma. Matwire, last week, a little bit first game jitters. I expect him to play a lot bigger tonight.
You know they're fired up here for the home opener tonight as the Sooners take on Florida A&M. And there's nothing better than a home opener anytime you come to Norman than enjoying the full tradition of Oklahoma football. And tonight, you're going to get a chance to enjoy it as if you were right here at the stadium.
I am driven by the unbroken. I am fueled by the untested. I will put my best against your best. My one against your one. I will add to the story and put aside personal glory like a champion. No weakness will take root in my heart. Honor, pride, and team will feed my spirit. Defeat has no hold on me. This ground, this field, it is my home. And when you step through my door, pay your respects, because greatness lives here. There is only team. There is only this field. There is only today. There is only one Oklahoma.
Hell. Stays up. What a setting here. The Sooners home opener against Florida A&M. When we come back, Chad McKee will have more, including a visit with head coach Bob Stoops. Stay with us. Fox College Football is presented by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. And by Ford. It's the Built Tough Truck event at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. Welcome back as Oklahoma gears up for Florida A&M. And let's hear from the boss himself, Bob Stoops, standing by with Chad McKee.
Coach, a rare opener on the road a week ago. How does it feel to be back on Owen Field tonight?
Well, it always feels great to be at home. Everybody probably sure feels that way, and obviously through the years we've done pretty well here. So it's we're excited to be home and ready to go.
You get a win on the road last week. I know it was not perfect execution-wise. What areas of improvement do you want to see tonight? Really
everything. I just want to see overall execution. You know, better technique in everything we're doing, and more just more precision in our timing and everything that we're doing. So right, hopefully it'll happen.
We appreciate it, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Bill, Dave, back up to you.
All right, execution's what it's all about, and they were just either a play slow or didn't react quite right. One guy might miss an assignment last week, but it was not what they expected. On the other side, you've got Joe Taylor, the head coach of Florida A&M, and the Rattlers fell to Tennessee State 17-14. They know they're in for a huge challenge here tonight. They have suspended 3 of their best players in defensive back Terry Johnson, as well as wideout Lenworth Lennon and Dwayne Harvey.
And both head coaches said the same thing when we talked to them during the course of the week, Bill. They want their players to be where they're supposed to be and do what they're supposed to do the way they're supposed to do it. And that's with proper technique. It's on defense, hitting the right gap and using the proper technique when you hit that right gap. Have gap integrity. Offensively, finishing blocks, you know, make sure that you're precise and correct in your assignment. And receivers, sink your hips, get in and out of cuts, get separation for the quarterback to make it an easier throw. It goes on and on. The king domino, though, is technique and precision.
Patrick O'Hara is set to kick it off for the Oklahoma Sooners. Victorious in their opener at the Sun Bowl with a 24-7 win against the UTEP Miners. And another sold-out house here at Owen Field. O'Hara's kick brought out of the end zone at the 10 and out across the 21-yard line. And that's where the Florida A&M Rattlers will take place, a 22-yard return, as Wart was among the tacklers that time for the Oklahoma Sooners.
And Wart starting inside linebacker, running down, covering kickoffs. That's how important special teams are here at Oklahoma.
James Owens on the return. We'll also see him as a tailback here for this ball club as Damian Fleming leads them out, the sophomore quarterback from Jacksonville, Florida. And in the opener, he threw for 119 yards and a touchdown, was also intercepted once. He also runs it pretty good, 13 times for 52 yards in their 17-14 loss to Tennessee State. A little mix-up from the get-go.
First charge, timeout, Florida A&M.
It's a bad sign when you come from the sideline, the first play of the game, you have to call a timeout. I mean, all the communication should have gotten taken care of on that sideline.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that in a while, that you come out for the opening play of the game and you've had a full week to talk about it. Everybody scripts plays these days, and I don't know what they saw, or maybe they didn't have the right personnel on the field or something, but we'll see what happens here. Is Joe Taylor, who's got an outstanding reputation. He's won 229 games in his 29th year now as a college football coach, and 136 of those wins at Hampton and 61 at Virginia Union. So now we'll get it underway with Fleming under center. Fakes the handoff, looks to throw it. He's in trouble. And he completes it out in the flat and picking up productive yards near for first down on the reception.
Fleming, 6'3", 205-pounder, can hurt you with his feet and legs as well as his throwing arm. He's pressured out of the pocket immediately, but he keeps his poise and composure and changes the launch point and checks it down. Nice positive yardage on first down. You're way ahead of schedule, 2nd and 3.
Eddie Rocker, the receiver, out of the backfield. His second grab of the season, had one for 11 yards last week, and Dave mentioned gives him a second and short situation. And Owens breaks a couple of tackles, easily has the first down, and scoots to the 43-yard line of the Rattlers, where Demontre Hurst makes the tackle. Hurst, senior out of Lancaster, Texas, 3 tackles last week against the Miners.
Nathan Jeffrey on the very first drive, first possession of the game, had 14, 8, 8, 14, and 5-yard carries. So not a good sign that immediately Oklahoma was creased on the first running play of the game by Florida A&M.
So it's 1st and 10. And the handoff in the backfield again. The Sooners, good pursuit though to the football, and nothing doing that time for Florida A&M as Lee Williams is corralled. Hurst again in on the play. Also Corey Nelson, the junior linebacker from Dallas out of Skyline High School.
Everybody stayed on their feet. That's the key to success. You can't get cut in half. You can't tackle anybody if you're laying on the ground. Stay on your feet, separate from the blocks, and pursue inside out.
2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. Fleming throws incomplete, but there to stand him up, Anthony Williams is hit hard by Javon Harris, the senior out of Lawton, Oklahoma.
What a play in space. You know, you have a receiver in space. When he catches the football, now he's a running back. Running backs are supposed to make the first guy miss. Not so much. That is coaching reel technique right there. Stayed balanced up, strike, helmet across the bow, take him to the ground. A+.
Sooner defense asking for this sellout crowd to get involved, and they respond. It's a 3rd and 9 for the Rattlers of Florida A&M. On the 44-yard line of A&M, and going down, Fleming. He nearly got sacked on the play and then slips and falls under the pressure of Jamarcus McFarland and crew. McFarland out of Lufkin, Texas, big senior.
Yeah, I mean, he was pressured out of the pocket. McFarland's going to get the cleanup. That's going to be a quarterback sack as he goes to the turf. You know, he's down, and McFarland gets the cleanup on it, but initial pressure made Damian Fleming, who's going to be uncomfortable all night, vacate the pocket.
Loses 8 yards on the play, and now the line of scrimmage is the 36, and the punter, Brandon Holdren, will come on to kick it away. Fair catch is called for and taken by Oklahoma. Good field position is Justin Brown, the transfer from Penn State, making the grab. And Oklahoma will get it here following the 35-yard kick. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sooners at their own 30-yard line, and that brings out Landry Jones. His numbers from last week, no turnovers in the game either way, which the Oklahoma defense would like to see change around, but certainly happy that Landry was not picked off. And Jones completes this one. Little look in, and Brown picks up yardage out to the 38.5. They'll give him 9 yards on the play for the senior from Wilmington, Delaware. He's been a great fit since coming in here as practice was just getting underway. Not an easy situation.
Up tempo. They didn't do this last week. More confident in it.
And on the ground, Whaley the ball carrier. Still short of the first down. We'll take a look at the starting lineups. We talked about Eichert in the pregame show and what a force he has been and his flexibility. And of course, Jones has got a number of playmakers to go to, and led by Stills. Got great work with him. Kenny, 6 receptions last week, 121 yards. And it's 3rd and 1.
Short of player. Has to check in late. Gonna have to call timeout.
So both teams have to call a timeout.
Oklahoma.
And Bob Stoops will straighten that out in a hurry. We'll be right back. No score, early going here in Norman. Welcome back. No score, early going. Following the timeout, get to our Academy Sports and Outdoors key player in just a moment. It's Damian Williams last week. How about this for a debut? 10 rushes, 103 yards against UTEP. Nice work for the Academy Sports and Outdoors key player, Oklahoma. Helmets flying,
Blake
and nothing
Bell.
doing. Yeah, Blake Bell
Belldozer.
comes in the Belldozer to run the short yardage situation, and a loss on the play. Bell last week, 3 carries, all first downs.
Well, there was a mix-up here. I mean, it was an isolation lead. It looked like it was a little bit disjointed in the backfield. Penetration by Florida A&M. Tried to lead with 2 running backs through the hole for Bell. Nothing. Don't convert on 3rd and 1. That's not going to please Coach Stoops. That's what we're talking about, the lack of precision.
Tress Way will punt it away after the nice stop by Denmark, who you saw a shot of there. And Ross is the deep man here, tracking it, trying to stay in bounds, and he steps out inside the 15-yard line. Great coverage on the nice punt. Jesse Paulson there to cover for the Oklahoma Sooners.
You know, back to Damian Williams for a second. He had those 104 yards on 10 carries. He had a 65-yard touchdown run. So he had a 65-yard touchdown run, a 68-yard touchdown pass, 2 explosive plays that Coach Stoops liked last week. But you see him shaking his head on 3rd and 1. You don't execute, you know, against Florida A&M. That's going to aggravate the head coach, no question.
Tress Way bails him out, a 45-yard kick. What a terrific punter the senior out of Tulsa Union is. His career average, 43.9. That is 5th among all active punters in NCAA football. As a result, Damian Fleming, and he's going to use another timeout, I believe.
Second charge, timeout.
Wow.
Florida A&M.
After a change of possession, 2 change of possession timeouts. My goodness.
Joe Taylor wondering what is going on with his Rattler offense. No bite yet. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's check out our Academy Sports and Outdoors key player for the Rattlers. It's Eddie Rocker. You see what he did last week in the loss to Tennessee State. Had a nice reception already here coming out of the backfield. Senior from Ocala, Florida, Eddie Rocker for Florida A&M.
You know, averaged almost 7 yards a carry. Pretty strong. 5'8", 175 pounds. Hides behind that big offensive line. Then he explodes on you. It's like, where'd he come from?
Last year ran for 524 yards on the season. As the Rattlers see if they get it sorted out here on a 1st and 10. Fleming going down the sideline, and a sensational grab out of bounds. Oh, he caught it in bounds, and it'll be good at the 38, 39-yard line. What a catch by Travis Harvey.
Unbelievable play. 6'2", made the contested catch. You talk about field awareness. You talk about making a play on a football. Coverage is great. Using the sideline as the 12th defender. He goes airborne and makes a catch with both hands and gets the left foot down before he goes out of bounds. Great call. I think they're going to maybe take another look at it. They do every play in college football, obviously, to make sure, but I think I have to give that catch to Travis Harvey. And when he went to the ground, he maintained possession of it.
He had Owasso Jr. Aaron Colvin just hanging on him and went up and won the football. They will take a look at replay here and hold up to see, did he get that foot in bounds?
When he controlled the ball, went to the turf. He got his left foot down before any other body part went out of bounds. Watch him go up. He gets up and he catches it at the high point, left foot in, before anything else touches out of bounds with possession. That's a catch. The officials all over it. Outstanding individual effort, because you can't have any better coverage than that. The only problem that Colvin had, he never located the football, never turned to find the football. All he did was play the receiver, and if he had found the football, he may have gone up and jumped with him to contest that a little bit more.
And you could tell by the various angles of the replay, the officials trying to make sure that Travis Harvey was in bounds with that foot coming down.
Right, and was the heel in bounds. It looked to me like the whole foot was in bounds. And I mean, that was Baryshnikov-like, you know, to have your balance like that on the sideline, body control, incredible individual effort right there by Travis Harvey.
He had 6 receptions last week and a touchdown grab in the loss to Tennessee State. He's a senior out of Inglewood, California.
Catches the ball at the high point. Is that heel still in bounds?
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
Yeah, I can't dispute that. Not enough evidence to overturn it.
Right.
I mean, that left heel, the left foot came down, and his foot was angled a little bit toward the sideline. His toes were inbounds by a good margin. The left heel was the problem area. But, you know, honestly, the toe came down before the heel did, so it's a catch.
1st and 10, ball on the 39-yard line. And the Rattlers get out of that hole that Way had put him in with that nice punt. Flag thrown here before things can get underway.
Early movement.
Before the snap, full start. Offense number 72, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Robert Hartley, the upperclassman who, you know, is kind of the leader of that offensive line. He makes all the calls. Watch number 72 in a 2-point stance. You see him flinch? All he did was move. Once you're in that 2-point stance, just like if you had your hand on the ground, you can't flinch any body part whatsoever. And Harvey did. He flinched that upper body and leaned back.
Well, Mike Stoops is back as a defensive coordinator for Oklahoma. And last week, total defense, they allowed just 255 yards against UTEP. That's enough to make any opponent a little bit nervous getting underway. 1st and 15, and loose football near the 30, incomplete. R.J. Washington putting the pressure on the quarterback. Washington got his first start of his career last week at 6 tackles against the Miners.
Mike Stoops, you see in the white jersey there with the headset. His attitude is more isn't always better. Mike Stoops likes to simplify things. That's just a flat-out drop of the football right there. I'm a quarterback, I'm not happy. Damian Fleming could not put it in a better spot, right in the breadbasket.
2nd down and 15. 9:40 to go, first quarter. Second possession for Florida A&M. 3 receivers and a tight knot on the right side. He comes back left with a look into Harvey, and Harvey is hit hard at the 40-yard line. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Colvin makes the tackle.
Go right back to the matchup that just got the big play down the sideline. With that bunch formation to the right, they saw that Colvin was one-on-one on Travis Harvey. And you know what? Damian Fleming said, hey, we got to play down the sideline one-on-one. I'm going back to you again. Very, very minimal yardage on the completion.
There's a look at Fleming, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida. Last year completed 60% of his passes for over 1,600 yards, 11 TDs.
Early movement.
And once again, flag is thrown.
What you got going on is 72 is...
Before the snap, full start. Offense number 72, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
R.J. Washington is giving Robert Hartley fits. R.J. Washington almost got a sack, and he was the guy that pressured when Jamarcus McFarland finished the sack. He's so worried about R.J. Washington's get-off that Hartley's moving early. He's moving too soon. He's trying to get a jump on R.J. Washington to intersect that off-the-edge rush, and he's going too early.
So it's a 3rd and 14, the ball at the 35-yard line. Fleming, one-on-one, escapes, finds a receiver, and it is incomplete as intended for the running back Rocker. Pressure by McFarland that time on the quarterback Fleming.
I'll tell you what, that's pretty good for a defensive tackle to change direction with Fleming in space like McFarland did. Look at this. I mean, that's good stuff. You got a Ferrari with an 18-wheeler out there, and the 18-wheeler's moving laterally like the Ferrari. That's illegal, isn't it?
I've seen an 18-wheeler do side straddle hops quite like that.
Man.
So it'll be 4th and 14, and that means Holder, the punter, is on. And Brown back again for the kick return. And Oklahoma, last time they got the 30, this time they'll get it at the 33 when we come back.
Welcome back. No score between the Sooners and the Rattlers. 8:23 to play in the first. Bob Stoops has been terrific in home openers. 12-1 all time here on Owen Field. 46-9-5 for Oklahoma all time. There have traditionally been no problems in home openers. A little bit of a struggle. Got some timeouts, got some penalties in the early going. And Bill and Dave will see who gets on track first.
All right, thanks, Chad. We look forward to hearing more from you. Bob Stoops doesn't have any trouble at home, period. 77-3. Since his arrival here in Norman, as Stoops starting his 14th season now. Landry Jones goes to work on first down. Oh, almost picked off. And that was Roberts, Devin Roberts. And so when he goes into the coach and says, let me get on the offensive side, they put in this tape, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he did everything but catch the ball. I mean, he's in perfect position. I don't know what Landry Jones saw there. Obviously, he didn't see the defensive back, and I don't know how he couldn't because his vision looked like it was pretty clear. But boy, that's a dropped interception.
2nd and 10. Pressure on. Shows it with the screen and complete out to the 45. And that'll move the chains as Jones read that perfectly. A pickup of 12 yards on the screen pass to Dominic Whaley. Whaley had 3 receptions last week in the UTEP win. Roberts was there to stop him and move the chains. We're set 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Jones again. Across the middle, Stills! Oh, mama, what a grab and a flag to boot.
And then 2 flags. I don't know if there was some talking after the hit. A hit for a personal foul, defenseless receiver. And then if A&M had something to say about it after the fact, that may have been the 2nd flag, or they both saw the same
Personal
thing.
foul, defense, number 3, targeting, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Evan Roberts, what a one-handed catch by Stills, and then chunk. Boy, that's targeting the head. That's cranium to cranium right there, and that's a no-no. Look at this. Pluck it with one hand. Manischewitz, that's good stuff. Trying to get down, get out of the way. Actually, he hit him shoulder pad. Didn't go head to head. He went shoulder pad to head. And no, that's tough because you saw Stills lower his level. Right. And you can't stop in midair. But on the bang-bang play, that was slow motion. On a bang-bang play, the official thought that he targeted a defenseless receiver.
23-yard pickup, tag on the penalty, and it's 1st and 10 at the 16. Jones hands this one off. Whaley got some blockers. Motor still pushing, and Whaley down inside the 3-yard line.
Boy, it was Justin Brown on the perimeter you were talking about, Bill, when you said got some blockers. That's what the wide receivers didn't do very well at UTEP. Watch number 19 in the red jersey out here. Look at him just working his tail off right there. That's just outstanding effort on the edge, and this just good stuff.
13-yard gain and sets up 1st down and goal to go from the 3. The handoff right up the middle. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Damian Williams in for the score.
Nice job, Bill, by the big guys, because Damian Williams was not contacted until he crossed the goal line. When you're snapping the ball from the 3-yard line, look at everybody pick up their blocks. Here comes the guard, Cacon. I mean, he's not hit until he crosses the goal line. That's just gashing people up the gut. Excellent effort. Everybody sustaining blocks, finishing.
That'll bring on Michael Honeycutt, the sophomore out of Richardson, Texas Pierce High School. Hit all 3 of his point-after attempts last week. Did have a field goal attempt blocked. Hit 1 down in El Paso. And this one is good for the PAT. And the Sooners, little rough start, got it going on that drive. Williams caps it off, 7-0 Oklahoma. Welcome back to Norman, where the Sooners get on the board first 7-0 against the Florida A&M Rattlers. Bill and Dave Lapham with you here up top as Chad McKee patrolling the sidelines for us. And you see Williams on the sideline after that impressive touchdown run. Boy, he's making an impact. Out of San Diego, California, went to Arizona Western Junior College last year. Scored 26 touchdowns running with 1,931 yards on the ground. And then last week broke the century mark down in El Paso.
D.D. Williams, to me, it's double dose. He's going to give you a double dose every time he carries the football. And the other thing, you know, he's a good receiver, and he will pass protect. He's outstanding in blitz pickup, keeping Landry Jones clean. So Bob Stoops and his staff feels very, very comfortable playing Williams. Even though he's a junior college transfer, he's a complete football player.
Owens will be the deep man. James Owens, number 21 for the Rattlers. And Patrick O'Hara will kick it off again, the senior out of Topeka from Washburn High. And Owens, he'll bring it 5 yards deep. Makes a couple miss, tumbles out across to the 16. Let's check in with Chad McKee.
Block thrown by Justin Brown on the touchdown run by Damian Williams. Justin Brown, of course, transferred from Penn State. He is still taking classes here at Oklahoma that would count toward his degree at Penn State. He says he's a man of his word, wants to finish the degree he started at Penn State. Nothing toward the University of Oklahoma, just wants to finish what he started, guys.
Well, you just got to love that attitude, and I know the coaches are really appreciative of the maturity and the way he's handled things, and that's not an easy fit. I don't care how good a player or how good a person you are.
Right. If you bring that kind of maturity to a position group, it only upgrades it.
Handoff here as Rocker looking for room. Not much there as McFarland and Ndule make the stop. Picks up 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. The ball on the 20 now for Florida A&M.
You know what I would ask Justin Brown to do, and you probably don't even have to ask him if you're a coach. Mentor Trey McGuire. Here's a freshman. Show him how to take care of his body, what to eat, how to train, how to practice, how to study tape, all those kind of things. Mentor that guy.
Now, what a boost he could give a guy who's very talented and raw right now. This one by Fleming, incomplete. Receiver never could get untracked, intended for Travis Harvey. Sooners had it covered like a blanket as Jefferson in that free safety spot and Hurst were both back there in good position.
And what I've seen out of the defense tonight, Mike Stoops is keeping it very, very simple. You know, he wants to do something and do it over and over again until everybody's doing it well, and then add to it. Don't try to teach him trigonometry and calculus until you make sure they get Algebra 1 figured out.
Their pass defense last week only allowed 48 yards against the Miners. Fleming in trouble and got away from one. Fleming, not another. This time he's brought down at the 12-yard line as that Sooner defense is relentless in its pursuit. Is that Washington in there again on the play?
David King was the initial pressure, and he splits a double team, and now you're running for your life. I mean, if I saw David King, I'm scared too, and he almost pulled his pants down, but he escapes, and he gets to the edge, but can't outrun that Sooner defense. But man, Damian Fleming, when he saw David King, who calls himself Maximus, and I can't, you know, a gladiator, I mean, I can't argue he is Maximus. He is a stud and a half.
Aaron Franklin, I beg your pardon, is one that finished him off for the stop for the sophomore from Marshall, Texas. And the punt, Brown at the 45. Broke a tackle, watch out! Brown, 25, 20. Tries to bust through and rolls down to
He's in.
Touchdown, Oklahoma! Oh, mama, what a play by Brown!
Man! The officials looked at each other, Bill, and one official looked at the other and said, did he step out of bounds? And when the official said no, okay, signaled, he get inside the pylon, then it's a touchdown. I mean, Brown did everything so well here. Feels the football, and that's the first thing you have to do. Get the confidence coach, you're going to catch it. Now get north and south. Splits a couple of people, sloppy tackling. He breaks that arm tackle, and watch. Deciding, okay, I'm not going to cut inside and split both of them. I'm going to go to the end zone. And he stays in bounds. These two officials, they look at each other, and he said, did he stay in? They'll probably take another look at it to make sure that his feet did stay in as he's tightrope in the sideline. Breaks the tackle, off to the races, plant the foot. Ooh, I think his left foot's out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
That's what I thought initially watching it live.
Yep, and the officials looked at each other, and the one official said to the other, he's in. And so he signaled touchdown, but he missed it. It looked like the left foot, that body's right in front of us. We can't see it on that angle, but it looked like the left foot may have stepped out of bounds. And that first angle we saw, right there, he stepped out of bounds. You can see the red kick up, the red chalk kick up a little bit. It doesn't diminish the effort, though. Right there, he's out. He's out with that left foot. And he's down before he crosses the goal line. So both officials blew the call, really. He stepped out, and the ball didn't cross the plane before he was down. The left elbow hit the ground before the ball crossed the goal line. But this will be spotted first and goal at the 3-yard line. Does not minimize the effort that Brown gave. Big time.
What the heck. We all got excited anyway, had a bunch of fun. So they'll push it back, I'm sure.
After further review, the intercepting player stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It'll be Oklahoma's ball, first and goal at the 4-yard line. Will the clock operator please reset the clock to 5:22?
Not only did they miss the call, they thought he intercepted it. That was a punt return. We thought we had the first OU punt return for a touchdown since Ryan Broyles. And it's interesting that Brown's coming in to help fill a role, and obviously with Broyles no longer around, they're looking for big playmakers to go along with Stills, and he's going to be one day before it's all said and done.
No question. And Bill, he's 6'3", 210 pounds. I mean, this kid's got a body on him. He's a strong, physical football player. We saw him blocking on a big play on the perimeter. Now you see him returning. Very, very versatile player for Bob Stoops.
So first and goal from the 4 where Brown stepped out. And the Sooners, Jones at the quarterback slot. And will hand it off. And pushing forward.
Yeah.
And Williams, touchdown, Oklahoma. So Damian Williams gets his second touchdown of the night. And Williams, his third of the season. Tough run here.
Nice block, nice down block by the tight end, just washed it away. And then Williams' second and third efforts. I mean, he was not going to nose for the end zone. I'm going to spin, I'm going to push, I'm going to cross the goal line. He wanted that touchdown. He wanted it badly.
Comes with 5:17 to go here in the first quarter, and Oklahoma, favored by 50 plus, has got a 14-0 lead as the kick is good on the extra point attempt by Michael Honeycutt.
Watch the offensive, nice block, tight end, block down. Man, he just washed it away. He came down on that double team so violently that Grissom couldn't get back to the linebacker level. I mean, he knocked that defensive end about 5 yards sideways, but it creased the line of scrimmage so dramatically. Williams just hugged that double team, and he had an easy jaunt to the goal line.
Make sure those horses stay hydrated. They could be busy tonight.
No
as
doubt.
The Sooner Schooner comes out once again. Oklahoma starting to get it going here, and the Sooners with 5:17 to go in the first quarter get another TD from Damian Williams, and it is 14-0 for Bob Stoops' crew. Last year went 10-3 as Stoops led the Sooners to a bowl in every year that he's been here, and of course that national title in 2000 has everybody always expecting national championship contender type team, and they come in ranked number 5. Rankings are very difficult to see what's legit at this time of the season, Dave, but there's certainly no doubt that the Sooners talented ball club once again, and a pick to win it all in the Big 12.
And you know what, Bill? There's nothing wrong with building on a weekly basis. If you come out too early and play so well, you peak early, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, why didn't you go into, well, you peaked at the, nothing wrong with building, getting better every week and peaking at the right time.
O'Hara with a kickoff. Owens the deep man, and this one, no, goes through his hands and out of play. And the Sooner defense will see if it can come back on and rattle Fleming. As talk about great company, how about that? 4 coaches that won over 100 games at this school, and Bob Stoops at 140, climbing that list quickly, led by Barry Switzer, of course, Benny Owen, Bud Wilkinson, and Stoops done a phenomenal job here for the Sooners.
The only thing you'd say about Bob Stoops is every level that you're supposed to be able to get it, he gets it. I mean, he gets everything about coaching.
Handoff on this play. Rocker is run down at the 26-yard line. Washington and Jefferson there.
A couple of presidents, Washington and Jefferson, doing a good job. I mean, they just put a stone wall there on the edge. They set the edge. That's a nice ticket. Maybe they should run. It's Washington, Jefferson, president, vice president. But
year.
Look at that, inside, outside leverage on the football. Take them to the turf. Yeah, you got a little hitch to get along there.
Jefferson talking the pregame show, if you caught it, with Chad, Dean Blevins, about Jefferson being moved from a strong to free safety. Boy, what a fit it's been. Here's Fleming on the run. Pass incomplete. And a bang-bang play at the point of reception as Javon Harris right there to greet the intended receiver, Anthony Williams.
Anthony Williams dropped that ball. I mean, Fleming's had 2 balls right on the money that his wide receivers have not finished for him. He has got a howitzer now. There's some RPMs on that ball. The coach has said he's got a very strong arm. He can make every throw that needs to be made, and he has made them tonight. And Joe Taylor likes his quarterback, but boy, his receivers have to help him.
3rd and 9 for the Rattlers. Etheridge goes from left to the right side as part of that group of 3 receivers on the wing. Fleming. Overthrown, intercepted, and picked off by Harris. Harris comes up with his first interception of the season, and in fact, the first pick of the season for the Sooners. As we've told you last weekend, there were no turnovers down in El Paso, and Harris, who started 8 games a year ago with 47 tackles and had 3 INTs, gets his first of the season here.
Go ahead, safety over the top, cornerback underneath, good coverage, safety over the top, receiver falls down, and Anthony Williams is having a tough go in this particular drive. He dropped the pass, and then as Hurst was in coverage, he fell down, and over the top came the safety, Harris, to make the interception before he sashayed out of bounds.
You might remember that Harris last year, 2 of those 3 picks were in the Florida State game, so something about the Sunshine State gets him going here. And the Sooners come back to Kenny Stills. His reception is good to the 45-yard line of Florida A&M, and John Ojo makes the tackle for the Rattlers.
The one thing offensively, or a lot of things Bob didn't like offensively, but 3 balls were on the ground. There were 3 fumbles. They didn't lose any of the fumbles, but he wants better ball security. At some point in time, you put 3 footballs on the ground during a game, you're going to lose 1 or 2.
After that 4-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 6 at the 45 for the Sooners. Up 14-zip. Landry Jones. Pass out on the wing, and Stills with a grab and bumped out of bounds on the Rattler sideline. But he takes it for a first down to the 33-yard line of Florida A&M. Another look.
Watch this. Watch the blitz pickup by the running back. What do you do without the football? You pick up the blitz, you keep Landry Jones clean. Then give him the ball. Say, you know what, Brennan Clay, you know, that was a heck of a blitz pickup. You put your face mask right in there, give your reward, throw your bone, big guy.
Brennan Clay, junior out of San Diego, 6 carries, 26 yards last week.
Penalty.
And the Sooners trying to get that up-tempo offense going.
After the play was over, personal foul, offense, number 64, 15-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Whoa. Eichert doesn't like it. And here's a guy that came to Oklahoma as a tight end. And he's a very physical blocking tight end. And Bob Stoops said, you know what? We need some help in the offensive line. What do you think, Gabe? He goes, yeah, I can put on 20, 30 pounds easy, man. And he did. He kept his feet. And he's still trying to see why that call was made. But this is a 4.0 student. He's got the intelligence. He's got the athleticism. And I think he's playing his best position, translating to the next level. I think he's going to be a good center in the National Football League with his brains and his athleticism.
Well, his blocking ability up front has helped Kenny Stills on those receptions tonight, has now moved into 7th in OU history on the all-time receiving yards list. Stills at 1,795 and past Corey Warren, who played with Oklahoma 90 to 93. And Stills, see, he'll keep moving up. He's going to move up a lot of those lists. And he's also 10th in touchdowns in Oklahoma, 14 career receptions on the TD list. So the Sooners 2nd and 17.
Check out the cards, the placards on the sideline, and they signal the plays in to Landry Jones, and he communicates it up and down the line of scrimmage.
Ball at the 40. Jones scrambles here, got a man, it is Stills, and drops the football. Stills had him beat. Brandon Davis was the man putting some pressure. Matthews was covering.
And Stills is tapping his chest saying, that's on me. And here's Landry Jones moving in the pocket a little bit, and the ball hits Stills right in the hand. So you can't throw it any better. Put it in a perfect spot, and it looked like he was looking it in. It's just a flat drop. He didn't lose focus, looked it in. It just fell right between his hands, and that's unfortunate. That's a 39-yard touchdown pass that goes by the boards, and that's the lack of precision that Bob Stoops is talking about.
Yeah, whether it's concentration or whatever, from outstanding players. There's an outstanding grab, but out of bounds that time with the catch, as looking for Brandon Green, and Green out of Fort Scott Community College had his first OU reception last week go for a touchdown against UTEP.
And it's different people taking turns, you know. If it was the same guy making mistakes, you take him out and put that back up in. But offensive lineman one play with a penalty, a drop pass, maybe the quarterback doesn't make a right read. You know, every position group, it takes all 11 guys in unison. If 1 or 2 breaks down, and it kills you.
4th and 17. Wayo tried to pin him inside the 20 with the high kick, and does so as it goes out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Well done by Tress Way, as Oklahoma misses a golden opportunity to make it 21-0.
Yep.
And settles for a 32-yard punt that will put them at their own 8-yard line, them being Florida A&M.
And Oklahoma is dominating field position, the hidden yards with their special teams with the kicking game. Tress Way having a lot to say about that aspect of things.
With 2:44 to go in the quarter, the Sooners have doubled them up yardage-wise here so far. With 88-43, the total yard story.
Well, you have 12 men on the field. You're going to have an illegal substitution on Oklahoma, and running off the field late is Julian Wilson and getting an earful from Mike Stoops.
There is no foul for illegal substitution. Before the foul, second charge time, first charge timeout.
Okay, they get
Oklahoma.
They did
30 seconds.
They basically traded a timeout off for a penalty. No substitution foul because they called a timeout before they could assess the penalty.
Mike Stoops pretty well shows you all you need to know. Let's send it down to Chad.
We'd love to get you. Would you come on with us? No, we'd love to get you. We've got the big guy, Blake Griffin, with us, and Sooner basketball coach Lon Kruger back in town. I know we're celebrating the 88 national runner-up team, but Blake, what are you doing back in town?
I just came to hang out with the guys, watch them play pickup yesterday and today, and be around. Everybody looks great, and I'm excited to see how they look.
You gave some words of inspiration to the football team. What'd you say to them?
I literally told them to score more points than the other team. That was it. That's my pep talk.
You got Chris Paul this offseason, signed a longer-term extension. How do you feel about the Clippers?
Very good, man. Just excited about the future, excited about getting better, and just enhancing the program.
Coach Kruger, what's it like to have this guy back around your fellows?
Well, fantastic. He's one of the greatest college players ever, and obviously the highlight film every night in the NBA. So represents the Sooners pretty well.
Gentlemen, we appreciate it. We'll let you enjoy the game. He was headed out the door, guys, when we caught up with him. We appreciate it, Blake.
Thanks very much. There's a look last week or yesterday, Dave, at the workout where the team, actually, the football team, worked out in the basketball facility, and Blake Griffin had a chance to impart not necessarily some wisdom, but just get it done, right?
Exactly. Keep doing what you're doing. And I was there watching practice, and he came in, and it was like, a Hollywood star. Everybody stopped. It was like they met Santa Claus.
First and 10 at the 24, and Fleming with the football gets to the 28-yard line, picks up 4, and Wart makes the tackle. Tom is a junior out of New Braunfels, Texas. 71 tackles in an honorable mention all-conference season a year ago.
They had a nice run, Florida A&M did, to punch themselves out of that bad field position. They took it to the perimeter, to their offensive left, the right of the Oklahoma defense. They didn't set the edge well enough. Mike Stoops isn't going to like that snap that got A&M out of poor field position to start this drive.
2nd and 6. Fleming, complete and hit hard was Admonson Felix. And Mason Felix hit by Javon Harris. What a shot he took.
Man, that's whiplash time. You talk about getting hit from behind in a car accident. This is the same thing.
Whew.
That's a serious whiplash. Man, that's some shoulder pads smacking right there.
Picked up enough to make it 3rd and 1. The ball on the 33-yard line. His first reception of the year for the sophomore from Palm Beach, Florida. He'll remember it.
When he gets out of bed tomorrow, he'll say, that's what that hit did.
Fleming trying to buy some time. Running around again. Receiver comes back. And it is complete, but a loss on the play. So it'll be 4th and a couple now as Morris making the reception, a redshirt freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. Nelson and Ndule had put the heat on the quarterback.
Boy, and the coverage is so good that Michael Morris just keeps having to come back to the quarterback. 6'4", 230-pounder. Did he secure it? The ball hits the ground. Does he secure it? The ball hit the ground. They did. They gave him a completion and lost, but he actually the ball did hit the ground. It should have been ruled incomplete.
Rattlers are 0-5 now on 3rd down conversions, and their punter Holdren. And boy, surrounded. Brown makes the fair catch. And that may not mean anything tonight, but the ability to do that throughout the season can be huge.
The first thing that coaches have to have in their punt returner is faith and confidence he's going to catch the ball. And Brown has got sticky fingers now. That's look at him catch it with his fingertips. and it's right on their fingertips. I mean, that's courageous. I mean, you're surrounded by white jerseys everywhere, and you're watching that football, and you know they're ready to jump like cobras if you drop it, and it makes a great player to jump like rattlers, really, instead of cobras. You got to get the right snake, right?
36-yard punt that time, and Oklahoma 14-zip, 1st and 10, and giving it off to Williams, who's got their 2 touchdowns tonight, knocked out of bounds. How about the Big 12 today? How about TCU getting it going tonight, leading Grambling 35-0. Kansas State, Oklahoma's next opponent, is the buzz right now after humbling Miami today.
Kansas State's offensive line, they put on their big boy pads and they just blue-collared Miami to death. I mean, that was just a ground and pound deal.
That's the end of the first quarter. Bob Stoops Sooners with the football, the lead of 14-0 over Florida A&M, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 when we come back as Oklahoma with Williams a pair of touchdowns, some big hits going on here in Norman. Take a look at the first quarter stats and time of possession. There's a good example of how little that figure can mean.
Yeah, neither team has converted on 3rd down. A&M is 0 for 5. Oklahoma's 0 for 2. It's amazing.
Oklahoma 2nd and 8, the ball on the 35. And Sooners trying to get him going again here. And McGuire, the freshman out of White House, Texas, who had 4 grabs last week, picks up 4 yards here. Be 3rd and 3 for Oklahoma. First reception for McGuire tonight. And this one is picked off as Landry Jones drilled it right to Devin Roberts. Roberts, the sophomore from Ocala, Florida, comes up with the INT.
Landry Jones just trying to force the issue a little bit that time in the deep quadrant of the football field. Protection's fine. His vision totally unimpeded and just sails it a little bit and should have never thrown it. I mean, there's bracket coverage on Stills. And it's just a dangerous throw, and he suffered the consequences. Could have checked it down to a couple of other people and tried to force the big play. I guess, I don't know, maybe Stills dropped the touchdown pass. He wanted to go back to him, but he shouldn't have done that snap. Yeah, that was an obvious force, and Sooners turn it over. Let's see what the Rattlers can do with it from their 34-yard line. Handoff. And there is David King, the senior out of Houston Straight Jesuit High School, to make the stop. Boy, I tell you, when he tackles you, he engulfs you. He just wrapped that one up big time. Watch number 90. Takes on, they try to double team him. He sheds the block, gets to the inside, and you talk about nice little rodeo. It's just sumo wrestling to the ground right there.
With the suspension of Stacy McGee, his moving to that spot has become even more valuable. The Sooners also without suspended players Jazz Reynolds, Trey Franks, and Quentin Hayes, who've been working out with the team, but not back yet. And this group's doing a pretty good job without him, though. Nicely done by Jesse Paulson on the tackle as he replaced Jefferson, who left us a little bit ago with apparently a foot injury.
Watch this run support. Heat-seeking missile. Woof. Coming downhill, safety spot. Very, very sure tackle. 3rd down and more than medium. Not quite long, but it's a challenge for Florida A&M. 0 for 5 so far. UTEP only converted 19% on 3rd down last week.
Yes, UTEP just 3 of 16 in this situation. 3rd and 5 of the 39 for Florida A&M. Williams looking for Harvey. Wow. Made the grab, but out of bounds.
I tell you though, he's a contested catch guy, boy. He's got tremendous body control. You got to keep it on the field of play. He might make the play for you. Ball's just a little bit too far outside. Pretty good protection. He throws it to the outside shoulder. It steps with his right foot right on the sideline, but what a tremendous catch. And the coverage is really good.
Yeah, Hurst was right there.
Absolutely, you know, and he's been there. He's been covered like that down the sideline twice. One time he got the left foot in. That time he couldn't quite get the right foot in.
Fleming 6 of 12 for 42 yards and a pick. Goes to the sideline as the punter, Holdren, last week averaged 41 yards a kick, boots this one to Brown, and again the fair catch and bumped in after the play, but no flag here. Sooner football at the 23 when we come back.
12:58 to play here in the second quarter. Sooners with a 14-0 lead. Pleased to be joined now by OU women's basketball coach Sherry Cole. Your team just returned from a 10-day, 4-game trip in Australia. How valuable an experience is that for your girls?
It was an unbelievable opportunity because we got to take our 3 incoming, 2 freshmen, 1 junior college transfer with us. So you get the opportunity to lay a foundation for how you want to practice, how you want to work. You get to go and play a few games and see how they fit together, and then come back and get into school, and now individual workouts have a completely different bend to them because of that time we had together.
And how did they play?
You know what? We played really well. I was really pleased with our effort, with our the young guys' ability to just fit right into the flow. We didn't put a lot of things in, obviously, but their confidence level and the way they sort of fit in seamlessly with our older guys makes me really excited about the upcoming year.
Okay, Coach, I know you're here with your daughter. We'll let you get back to her. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. Good luck to Sherry Cole and the Sooners. Oklahoma on the ground that time as Whaley lost the handle, and A&M is saying they've got it. We'll let them unpile.
Whaley fumbled. He had one of the 3 fumbles that were put on the ground last week and lost control of this one as well. Tug of war going on right now. A&M's leaving the field. They're saying that it's our football. See, Whaley turns it up the football field. Is he down? Did the ground cause the fumble? That's going to be reviewed one more time.
Marvin Ross ends up with the football, I think.
The ball's out before he hits the ground. That is a fumble. Knee, elbow, not on the ground yet. The ball is out, ripping at that football, and now 2 turnovers here in the second quarter. Interception and fumble by Oklahoma. They're -1 in the turnover department right now.
And this time, Florida A&M gets really good field position out of it. It's 1st and 10 at the Sooner 30. They come after him. Williams unloads quickly out on the flat, and Owens spins, picks up down to the 29-yard line. Corey Nelson stops him, and it'll be 2nd down and 4, 6-yard gain.
Tom Wart was running like his hair was on fire out there to try to turn that ball back inside, and he overran it just a little bit. He would have made a tackle for a very minimum gain, but he could not quite make that in space.
Owens 5'9", 180. He's shifty. Nice reception and then move after catch. 2nd down and 4. Trips to the right side.
Yeah, bunch formation.
And Williams completes this one to Felix. And Felix is stopped at the 23-yard line as Wart was there. Got a yard. It'll be 3rd and short, 3rd and 4.
Again, big 3rd down situation. A&M has not converted yet. 0 for their first 5. Can Oklahoma hold this to nothing more than a field goal opportunity since '99? Since Bob Stoops been coaching, 30.6% on 3rd down is the Oklahoma defense, best in the nation since '99.
Crowd roaring. A 3rd and 4 at the 24. Fleming with a man in his face, incomplete. Intended once again for Felix. The pressure was put on by Gabe Lynn.
Dialed up the blitz package. Mike Stoops, you know, he says pressure isn't good all the time, but you pick your spots. And in this situation, dictated by field position and circumstance of the game, bring it. He hit 2, hit the gap, only could pick up 1. Nice little, brought a safety, brought a linebacker, and squirting through there. Pressure on the quarterback. Good call by Mike Stoops, executed well by his defense.
You're looking at Chase Varnador, the sophomore from Tallahassee, going for a 41-yard field goal attempt. The left-footed kicker's got the leg, and it is good. He replaced an all-conference kicker in Trevor Scott and gets the Rattlers on the board here in Norman with a 41-yarder, taking advantage of the Oklahoma turnover. It's 14-3 Sooners. A rough start for Florida A&M, but some good news for the Rattlers as they get settled down. They take advantage of the turnover, and Varnador, nice kick.
Yeah, very nicely done. I mean, he Absolutely drilled that. He got elevation quickly. Oklahoma had some penetration. He got that airborne and got it up. He didn't hit a 3-iron. He hit a 7-iron instead of driving it. Got it airborne and cleared the line of scrimmage very, very quickly. It's the first points Oklahoma's defense has given up. Last week's touchdown was a special teams issue. So Oklahoma had a shutout for 5 quarters defensively to start the season, and gets the field goal.
Hardor will kick it off here. Roy Finch and Clay are deep. Clay will down it in the end zone, and they'll bring it out. So the Sooners, Bob Stoops, wanting execution and things to be cleaned up. Don't think he's going to like the look of the second quarter possessions.
Yeah, that first possession did not go very well. Landry Jones, his Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback in a lot of people's eyes before the start of the season, really tried to force the issue, take advantage of something that wasn't there down the field to be taken advantage of.
And Jones last year threw for 4,463 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. The year before, he thrown for 4,700 yards.
Oh,
incomplete here, tried to catch up to Williams.
And I'll tell you, that was covered so well. I think Landry Jones saw Brandon Denmark out there and said, you know, I have to put it on his back shoulder, because if I don't, Brandon Denmark's right in my line. And Denmark kind of undercut that, you know, that little flare pass, and made
that was
a nice
the only
play.
place he could throw the football, wasn't it?
Yeah, unless he feathered it up higher, you know, and tried to go over him. But you know, then you just letting the defense run at your player as the ball's in the air.
Jones, incomplete here. You know, how highly thought of was Landry Jones, Dave? You work a lot in the NFL with the Bengals broadcast, and you've got 3 Big 12 quarterbacks as rookies that are starters this year.
Right.
Many believe that Jones would have been one of those as well, and it's hard to argue that.
First round pick. I mean, a lot of people had him in the first round on their board, and you know, look at TCU is in the Big 12 now. Andy Dalton started as a rookie for the Bengals last year.
3rd and 10. Jones here. Flag is thrown. He airs it out. And it is caught inside the 30-yard line. Another flag at the point there. Justin Brown, the receiver.
Let's see if they're calling face mask or now Justin Brown. They're saying, A&M is saying that Justin Brown pushed off. Landry Jones had the free play because the defensive lineman was encroached. He was in the neutral zone, so he knew he had a free play and just put it up.
2 fouls on the play. Offside. Defense, number 54. The penalties decline. Pass interference. Defense, number 16. Penalties decline. Result of the play. First down.
Well, there you saw the defensive lineman in the neutral zone early. Landry Jones knew he had an opportunity, goes airborne. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how they're trying to say that should have been called on Justin Brown, because Antoine Matthews, I mean, he was trying to grab him to the turf. I mean, you got to call defensive pass interference, and was declined.
46 yards on the pickup. Jones coming back to the passing game, and it is incomplete here. Looking for McTwire. Maxey was covering on the play for the Rattlers.
Tried to go back shoulder to McTwire, but boy, that's just good coverage. They have some skilled people. Look, he did a good job of turning and finding the football and making a play on the football, and he adjusted to the back shoulder throw as quickly as McTwire did. That's excellent coverage down the field.
2nd and 10 for the Sooners, up 14-3, trying to answer that field goal by A&M as the Rattlers finally getting on the board, and Landry Jones with 10:26 to go before the end of the first half. Williams the back in motion. Stills juggled it now, turns it up. Stills the 20, breaks the tackle, got down inside the 10-yard line before Maxey trips him up.
Well, this is just a good execution in all phases of it. And look at the offensive lineman down the field getting their blocks, and Stills just explodes to the inside. A penalty flag, though, may just nullify this whole thing.
Offense, number 69. 15-yard penalty.
Lane Johnson.
Repeat 2nd down.
And that's the kind of thing that's driving Bob Stoops crazy. You know, the lack of precision he's talking about. A clipping penalty nullifies a big play. Kenny Stills drops a 39-yard touchdown pass. I mean, everybody's taking their chance. Landry Jones forces the ball down the middle of the field when he shouldn't have to throw an interception. So, you know, as I said, it's not the same position group or the same guy making the play over and over again where you can make substitutions. You can't sub everybody out. You just have to be patient as a head coach and hope that at some point the offense gets in sync. Landry Jones looks to the sideline to the cards that are being held up, gets the play again, and then he communicates it up and down the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 18 after the penalty. The ball backed up to the 37-yard line. Whereas the Sooners had that play stood, have been knocking on the door again. Jones gets it right back, though. Pops it right down the middle to Stills, and Stills makes the grab at the 15-yard line. Jonathan Pillow covering.
Boy, that's a nice throw. Talked about Landry Jones upping his arm strength. He threw a bullet there. That's a rocket. And they're in the red zone for the 3rd time. The first 2 times Oklahoma's gotten in the red zone, they've scored touchdown. They're 2 for 2. And here's the placards. In Landry Jones, you have coaches signaling, you have placards behind him, just making it more difficult for the opposition to intercept signals.
1st and 10 at the 15 after the 22-yard gain. And Williams looking to get to the outside, sheds a tackler, dives. And Williams, touchdown Oklahoma. Had to wait for the signal. Williams gets the TD, his 3rd of the night.
I'll tell you what, he got to go give a kiss on the forehead to Millard, his fullback. Watch number 33 right here. Watch him give the block. Boom, cut block. See you later. Bounce it outside. Decent job on the perimeter by Brown. Gets inside the pylon. Fullback gets it started. Brown just, he tied him up long enough where Matthews couldn't make a play on it. Williams turns it up. 3 on the ground for Williams. How about that?
And Williams in his 2nd game as a Sooner, 3 touchdowns in a half. Blake Bell, the last to rush for 3 touchdowns back in the bowl game against Iowa last December. And Honeycutt's kick is good, and the Sooners make it 21-3. How about Damian Williams? Knowing where to go. Sooners 21-3 is Damian Williams, the junior college transfer with all 3 Oklahoma touchdowns. And Sooner fans quickly going to know more about this guy. Drive 7 plays, 75 yards. Just 132 is all it took for Oklahoma. Very explosive. And they had a long penalty that brought back an earlier play.
Yep. Yeah, they had a big penalty, a clip on offensive lineman Lane Johnson that nullified a big pass to Stills.
Owens will be the deep man here once again for Fort A&M as O'Hara will kick it off. Sooners with 9:20 to go in the half, up comfortably 21-3. Owens will down it there. And take a look at the touchdown maker, Damian Williams.
Well, Damian Williams averaged the first down every rush last week, and this week, nice job by the offensive line. The guard pulling around, gets a key block. Williams creases the goal line. This one's just extra effort, saying, I can smell the goal line. I want my 2nd touchdown. Fullback gets the great block. Brown's doing a job on the edge. Williams says, thanks, boys. I'll get my 3rd touchdown. And different varieties. You know, he's shown speed. He's shown power. He's shown versatility in his ability to run the football, averaging 6 yards a carry. 3 touchdowns. Last week he averaged 10 yards a carry and had a 65-yard touchdown run.
And Oklahoma goes to work defensively now as Florida A&M just a lone field goal and trying to run the football. Not much happening for Eddie Rocker that time.
How about it's a dream game for Williams, though. You carried the ball 4 times, you scored 3 touchdowns. That's a pretty darn good percentage of scores on carries.
Sooners trying to go 2-0 after the victory at UTEP last week. A week off next week before hosting Kansas State. Wildcats hammering Miami today. What a conference opener that ought to be. Right here, Fleming gonna keep. Escapes a couple, but gets knocked hard from behind. In on the tackle that time was Undulé. And Chuka makes the play there. Let's send it back down to Chad McKee.
Guys, during that last break after the touchdown, Bob Stoops and coaches over at the bench imploring the offensive linemen to be aware of the way the officials are calling the clips and blocks in the back. Said they have to adjust. You know how the game is being called. Now it's up to you to adjust your style of play to that and be more aggressive at the line of attack.
Well, regardless of the sport, players need to learn that. You've got to adjust to what it is, how it's being called. How about A&M? 0 of 7 and 3rd down. What do they do here? Rocker. knocked out of bounds on the A&M sideline on a 3rd and 12. They'll have to punt it away now on 4th down as Paulson there to make the push out after a 3-yard gain.
Boy, at the conclusion of the first game, Mike Stoops' defense had only given up third down 19% of the first down and third down 19% of the time. Had 0 for 8 tonight. My goodness, you're going to win a lot of football games if every time you face a third down, your defense gets off the field. Only points scored against Mike Stoops' defense so far is a short field goal. His defense bulled their neck and did everything they could. It was
that was
replay
after a
punt it, kick it. Yeah, exactly. After a turnover by the offense.
Last week, UTEP scored on a block punt. Here comes Brown, room to roll. And again, he takes off, looking for blockers, sheds a tackler inside the 10-yard line. What a run and return.
Boy, I'll tell you, that's the second short field for the offense, courtesy of Justin Brown. Watch, makes very quick decisions, and he's full speed in a hurry. Gets excellent effort. 2 blocks delivered on the perimeter by Marshall Musil, and Marshall Musil gets Brown off and running. And boy, I tell you what, this kid gets everything he possibly can. No wasted motion. Gets north and south. He's not an east-west guy, not a jitterbug. Runs with power on that punt return.
62 yards in the return. You can tell he's done it before. He picks his places, he follows his blockers, and hits the gap. And now they come back on the ground as the ball given off to Clay, the junior from San Diego. Hepburn makes the tackle. Brandon Hepburn, the senior out of Pomona, New York.
Not your typical punt returner at 6'3", 210. I mean, usually, you know, you have the jitterbugs back there. This guy has got sure hands, and then he just goes north and south, very, very decisive, and he just takes it to the house.
Sooners, 2nd and 6. Second from Landry Jones in trouble, and then runs right into the defensive lineman, number 90. That's Francis Mays, a junior out of Bemidji, Minnesota.
Brandon Davis was the initial problem. Brandon Davis built like a 6'4", 310-pounder. Look at the effort. He gets chopped, and he jumps right back up. Landry Jones tries to spin away from him. Tremendous effort by Brandon Davis. He wasn't pouting about being cut to the ground. He jumped up like he was a defensive back. So they get some athletes now.
3rd and goal from the 16 now. The Sooners 1 of 4 on 3rd down. 3rd and goal from the 16. Jones got time. Going for a man deep. Stills has got the grab. He scores. Touchdown, Sooners.
Devin Roberts thought he had great position, great coverage. Landry Jones says not so much. I'm going to get it up and let Kenny Stills go up and get it. Watch number 3, Devin Roberts. He's thinking, okay, he's looking here, but man, I got good position. I think he thought he was a little bit closer to Stills than he was. And Stills has got that size advantage over him. Devin Roberts stands 6'1". Kenny Stills had that height advantage. And boy, that was a rocket by Landry Jones. He threw a missile over there.
And Stills with that TD reception for his career number 15. It ties him with Keith Jackson. And Landry Jones gets his 96th touchdown pass on this play. Oklahoma rolling 28-3. Welcome back with a 28-3 Oklahoma over Florida A&M. Damian Williams with 3 touchdown runs, and then Kenny Stills the touchdown reception. And you see tied for 9th all time with Keith Jackson now here at Oklahoma. Pretty good company.
Very good company, Bill. And Justin Brown has gotten the assist on 2 of the touchdowns. 2 punt returns for 105 yards. Has given his offense short fields, and they've capitalized both times with touchdowns, averaging over 50 yards per punt return. Special.
Yeah. That receiving core, you throw Brown into the mix, only going to be something. Owens comes up, forges ahead, and they stopped him near the 22-yard line where the Rattlers will get the football. Jaden Bird out of Wichita, Kansas with a tackle. And with 5:54 to go in the half, Florida A&M will get possession here. Florida A&M They have time of possession in their favor, 15 minutes, 23 seconds, just 8:38. But that's because the Sooners have been electric when they have had it going.
Right.
Total yards right now is 200 to 78 Oklahoma.
Yards per play is a bigger stat than time of possession in this one.
No question about that. So it's 1st and 10 at the 22 for the Rattlers out of Tallahassee. Complete. The tackle is made on Anthony Williams, the receiver. Colvin making the stop. Picks up 4.
Got to like Colvin. He is always in the vicinity. I mean, it's been a battle out there. He's been in some one-on-one situations on the sideline where he's been beaten on contested catches, but he's always in position, and he showed what a sure tackler he is after catch right there.
Fleming is now 9 of 16 for 52 yards. Had one picked off. Keeps it here. Nearly broken ankle tackle, but is tripped up by McFarland. Marcus McFarland ends up actually losing a yard on the play. It'll be 37 now.
Damian Fleming's the kind of guy that you have to mush rush. I call him mush rush when you never pass rush past him. You always have to choke it down and form a picket fence in front of him and keep your lane integrity. Don't just run into space by him. He'll make you pay every time.
See if they can corral him here on a 3rd and 7. Fleming got a man. It is complete. Harvey, can he beat him? 25, 20. Harvey at the 10 and gets to the pylon. Touchdown, A&M.
Wow. Wheels.
Travis Harvey goes the distance.
This is just nothing fancy. Take the snap and throw the ball. Just a 9 route. Just get up the field and see if you can outrun him. And he absolutely did. Matched up with Hurst. Just ran right by him. And then he took it the entire width of the football field. Once he saw Hurst closing, he just cut it inside immediately. And he had everybody beaten so badly, nobody had an angle on him. He ran a bunch of yards for that score.
And the PAT by Varnador, and it is good. So Florida A&M, a 75-yard pass play, and on the board.
Nice ball, and he's saying, I got one here. I got one here. Come on. Finish it. Finish it. That's good stuff right there. That's something he'll never forget. He's on the road in Norman, Oklahoma. Damian Fleming hooks up with Travis Harvey, and it's not like A&M doesn't have some athletes.
Yeah.
They got a quarterback that can throw it and some receivers that can run.
Well, and over the years, Oklahoma's had that situation, Dave, where they'll be playing great, things are going good, and they'll give up a monster play.
Right.
And hopefully tonight it will not come back to haunt them. But those, again, are things that over the course of the season, one big play here or there like that can just turn a whole game around many times.
And that's almost like a bad memory, because that's what happened last year on the back end. There would be assignment errors or a breakdown in the secondary that would allow teams to get the chunk play on them, and that's about as big a chunk as you can get because they took it to the house.
Well, remember their last loss here was Texas Tech, and how many big plays the Raiders exploited them for in that game. Now Oklahoma trying to answer back quickly. Bringing it back is Finch. Only Finch moved to the slot this year. Played sparingly.
It's going to be nullified by penalty, though.
35-yard return for naught.
Holding penalty is going to bring him back for a long field now. That's another one. Bob Stoops is saying, okay, we have a nice return. Penalties, we're self-destructing. You know, I mean, Florida A&M's not necessarily beating us. So on that last touchdown pass they did, they were better. But, you know, penalties have nullified big plays. It's the same problem. He was hoping to see more precision tonight, and I don't think in the first half he's seen anywhere near the precision he was hopeful of taking a look at.
Yeah, Oklahoma third penalty tonight. They had 7 for 55 yards against UTEP last week. And they'll have to go full field again. And Hand it off here. Williams picks up a couple before Denmark makes the stop. 4-yard gain. Last week, Florida A&M losing to Tennessee State. They had 9 penalties in that game. Tennessee State won the game with 20 penalties and 178 yards. It's about an ugly game.
29 penalties on both teams in that game? Oh my gosh. Is that a 5-hour game?
No, the officials were paid by the flag in that particular contest, or what the deal was. Gain of 3 here, so it'll be 3rd and 1. And by the way, speaking of 3rd down conversions, that touchdown pass was the first 3rd down conversion for A&M tonight.
And it was a big one, wasn't it?
75 yards and the score. 3rd and 1 here, the ball at the 22 for Landry Jones and company. Jones, quick hitter across the middle, still spins, and has the first down easily out to the 29-yard line. That'll move the chains. 3:16 remaining in the half. 8-yard on the game.
Stayed in bounds.
Yep, Oklahoma again. Hurry up. As time not of concern, but I think sometimes Oklahoma felt at times last year they're almost too fast or too predictable tempo-wise. Whereas now, last week, maybe some new players and stuff that slowed it down a little bit. Tonight, we've seen it at times be high speed. Other times, they've taken their time. 7 yards on that gain. 2nd and 3. Handoff right up the middle, and look at Williams. He wraps up the football as they paw away at him, and he strolls to the 48-yard line of the Sooners before Bobby Jackson halts him.
And this is what Bob Stoops would like to see, a little power play right here. Left guard pulls around the horn, gets the nice kick-out block. Kasitahi, I'll tell you what, he had a good block as well as the fullback again. He pulling guard, keys the fullback's block. Fullback kicks out, he turns it up inside just like he did for a big play.
12 yards on that possession. Jones got all day, right across the middle, a pop near the first down marker, but it is complete, and that is Sterling Shepard. And he'll get a huge ovation, the freshman from Oklahoma City, the son, the late Derek Shepard, who played here at Oklahoma, and he was a sensational player, Sterling, at Heritage Hall in OKC. Thought he would get some action last week receiving wise. Gets his first grab here tonight.
Wearing his dad's old number.
Oh, yeah. Thank for him. Here's Jones going for 6. Ooh. Just overthrowing on the play.
Uh-oh, he ran into that brick wall down there, and he's hurt, trying to make a diving effort.
It looked like his left elbow or arm still sliding in.
Man.
You know, there's a band instrument there as well.
He's tapping out. He's saying, I need somebody to give me a break on this one. That's the completion right there to Sterling Shepard, and that's the overthrow to Stills, and he slides into that brick wall with the left elbow.
Kind of got it pinned underneath his shoulder, looked like a little bit.
Hopefully he'll be no worse for the wear. Just give him a little time to recover.
Sooners 2nd and 10 at the 41. Timeout is called here, Oklahoma.
Bob Stoops is livid. He is furious. He's all over the officials. He's saying, I don't want to.
Did they charge them a timeout because the trainers came on the field to attend to Stills?
That could be. That could be.
Because he obviously didn't want the timeout. And I'm not sure, just speculating there, what.
You know, it's interesting, back to Sterling Shepard a little bit. After he's saying there's no timeout now. No timeout charge is what he's trying to say.
We can read his lips. Sometimes you don't want to read lips at football games, but in this case, it's all right.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he's going to go tell both sidelines. Bob Stoops obviously knows. Now he's going to go talk to Joe Taylor, so Joe Taylor gets an explanation since he can't use his equipment's not working. He's telling Joe Taylor why there's no timeout charge. Sterling Shepard, the receiver we were talking about, when his dad passed away, Bob Stoops felt so badly for this young man at his dad's funeral, he basically took him under his wing. And at the age of 6 years old, he was at the locker room for every Oklahoma game. I mean, he grew up. Literally, Bob Stoops had him as part of the Oklahoma program from his young childhood. And here he is, a scholarship wide receiver, best player in the state of Oklahoma. last year, and what a storybook that is, boy.
Oh, absolutely tremendous, and nobody's more excited than he is to get that first catch here as a Sooner. And now it's 2nd and 10, 1:57 remaining, and on the ground is Clay, or he is tackled.
You know, if they could finish this drive with points, it'd be a pretty decent little thing that Bob Stoops be looking for, trying to get some consistency and rhythm and timing in his offense. They've mixed the run and pass pretty well in this drive.
One timeout remaining for the Sooners. 1:32 and counting here. 3rd and 6.
Got him.
Yep.
Now it's 3rd and 1. Little voice inflection, hard count. Don't listen to the quarterback. The ball's right under your nose. Don't move till the ball moves. Offsides on Florida A&M. I tell you, I have to admit, Bill, when I was playing center, though, and I had a very aggressive defensive lineman, I'd squeeze the ball. You know, and all they're looking for is a little movement. I'd squeeze the ball, and they'd jump every time. You know, it's don't move it, just squeeze it. And they'd complain to the umpire, and, you know, he couldn't see it. I just squeezed it.
Tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Big Dave Lapham.
If they're going to be trying to come off the ball like a banshee, I'm going to use it against them a little bit.
They bring in Blake Bell for the 3rd down and short situation. 3rd and 1. The 32.
Got that one.
Use the pile. He's 6'6", 254. The sophomore out of Wichita, Kansas, Bishop Carroll High School.
Yeah, the first opportunity he had tonight, he was thrown for a loss. I can't recall him being thrown for a loss last year. I mean, the Belldozer, a nice little push. Boy, that's like a scrum right there, a rugby scrum. You talk about the flying wedge. Man, those guys, they just hit the apex and pushed it.
So 1st and 10, clock a factor though, 1:01 to go. Here's Jones. Wide open receiver, that is Brennan Clay, and Clay gets across the 20 before he's wrestled to the ground. Be another 1st down after a pickup of 11, and Blunt made the tackle that time. Akil Blunt, freshman out of Pittsburgh.
You want to save that timeout to run the field goal team on the field if you have to, so 44 seconds and counting.
1st and 10 at the 18. How about 7? Touchdown, Oklahoma. What a passing catch. And McGuire, the freshman, gets his first TD as a Sooner on an 18-yard play.
McGuire has triple XL gloves. This guy is almost like a cartoon how big his hands are. I mean, from his little finger to his thumb, he could probably palm a ruler. He has got big old markers on him. He just plucked that ball effortlessly from the air. Gets a nice little release inside, and he's got big pillows at the end of his arms to catch that football. Sweet.
Sooners work the clock, leave just 36 seconds to go, and the kick by Honeycutt is good, and Oklahoma makes it 35-10 and answered quickly after Florida A&M score.
Look at the extension catch of the football. I think we're going to see a few of those. That's his first one of his collegiate career at Oklahoma, but it's not going to be his last. And he has some muckers on him.
Wow. You can see why Sooner fans are excited about his potential.
I think he can palm a dinner plate.
Your dinner plate?
Yeah, right.
Now, if he can palm your dinner plate.
An empty dinner plate, not with any food on it.
I'm going to say, wait a minute. He palms your dinner plate. That's ridiculous.
Oh, man. He does have some. I noticed it in practice. I'm watching him catch the football in practice. Wow, this guy has some. I mean, for his body type, he's got some oversized hands.
Yeah, he's just 6'1".
Yeah, and I mean, he's got, you know, when you look at like Martinez, some of these pitchers, Pedro had these long fingers, you know, and were able to do things leveraging a baseball. This guy has got special ability because of those long fingers catching the football.
Landry Jones, his second TD pass tonight, 97th of his OU career. He's #1 on the OU charts in completions, attempts, touchdowns, yardage, yards per game. But wanting to lead the Sooners to a championship. This one comes to Owens at the 10 and brought down there with 31 seconds remaining.
Bob Stoops is going to like that drive, Bill. They got the ball with about 4 minutes to go in the half, and there's a 2-minute drill, there's a 4-minute drill, and they just executed the 4-minute drill to perfection. Keep the ball, don't let the opposition get it back at all to end the half, and finish it with points. That's like cherry on top of the sundae. I mean, that was a great 4-minute drill executed by his offense right there. And the thing that Landry Jones, he needs 3 more wins, Bill, to be the winningest quarterback in Oklahoma history, and that's what quarterbacks are judged by. So if he gets this victory under his belt tonight, he'll need 2 more wins to be #1 all time. And that is what the game is all about, winning football games.
Saw the president, David Bourne, strolling down there on the sidelines as well, as Florida A&M wanted to take a knee and say, all right, we've had enough fun for one half with a 35-10. They did get the field goal and that exciting 75-yard pass play that Harvey scored on. Then Landry Jones answered, though, with a couple of TD passes, one to Stills and one to McGuire, after Damian Williams had 3 touchdown runs to get the Sooners going early on here tonight. So at intermission, 35-10, Oklahoma over Florida A&M, as the Sooners have had a couple of miscues, but overall they're still well in control of the game.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you think about it, Stills had a touchdown pass that was dropped. You know, penalties nullified some big plays. It wasn't perfect. Bob Stoops is still looking for more precision, but that's a talented football team you see running off the field to the locker room at halftime.
And the Sooners with 282 yards to 154 for Florida A&M. And let's send it down to Chad with Coach Stoops.
All right, Coach, couple of turnovers, but 5 red zone trips, 5 scores for the offense. Defense gives up just 1 big play. How did you feel about the first half?
Well, those are the things as a coach you're bothered by. Turnovers, you know, that's a poor job on our part. So we got to take care of the football better. Defensively, we gave up the 1 play. You know, we got to be better than that. That shouldn't happen. Our safety got crossed up. He was supposed to be deep in the middle. He wasn't. And that's how those kind of plays happen. So we got to be sharper.
Okay, Coach, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, Chad, thank you so much. As Bob Stoops and the Sooners always looking for better execution, but leading at 35-10. And what about the rest of the Big 12 today? Kansas State next up, 52-13 over Miami. Iowa State knocks off the Hawkeyes.
Big win right there.
Kansas nipped by Rice 25-24. As Charlie Weiss finds out how tough it's going to be up in Lawrence, Kansas.
So with those 3 scores, TCU's drubbing people. Now they're 12-1, the Big 12. At the half, Texas could be 13-1. Texas could make it 14-1. Oklahoma State, Arizona. I mean, they went 9-0 last week, the Big 12 did. And so far, only one loss this week by 1 point with Kansas. So Big 12 faring well in the early stages of non-conference competition.
And they all play one another in this 10-team league. Now that they've added TCU and West Virginia, it'll be fun to follow. So far, so good for Oklahoma here at 35-10 at intermission. Fox College Football is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. By Ford, it's the Built Tough Truck Tough event at your Oklahoma Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. And welcome back here to Norman, where the Sooners have the edge, 35-10. Bill Land, Dave Lapham with you, and always looking for perfection. Bob Stoops not elated, but they have certainly controlled the football game.
Yeah, there's no question about it. He's upset about turnovers, penalties, and he should be. I mean, he's the head football coach. They put 35 points on the board, but they could have had 50.
Yeah, almost easily. In fact, gave away a touchdown, in fact. But a lot of performers have contributed. Started off on the ground with Williams getting 3 TDs.
Yeah, 7 carries on the night. 3 of them went for touchdowns. Nice job by the offensive line right there, clearing a path. Very, very easy touchdown for Williams. He had to work for this one, and he's showing second, third effort. Powerful leg drive. He gets his 2nd touchdown, nose for the end zone. Fullback, beautiful block. Brown on the perimeter, excellent. Arch it into the end zone, full extension. Tremendous play by Williams. Now, okay, let's get Landry Jones going with Kenny Stills. Nice touchdown pass right there. Again, this is the one big play. Mistaken coverage, safety not over the top where he should be. Bob Stoops talked about it. Travis Harvey makes him pay with a 75-yard touchdown reception, the only 3rd down conversion they made in the first half. Landry Jones. Let's wire. That's going to be More than once, boy. That's going to happen over and over again. This kid has got special talent. Upside potential is extraordinary. Turnovers, a negative for Oklahoma. They're -1, but just about every other category they're dominating. In my mind, Bill, here's a stat, though. Oklahoma has 2 punt returns for 105 yards. A&M has 1 punt return for -4. That's over a football field of hidden yards just in the punting game alone. Oklahoma has had short field twice, courtesy of Brown with his punt returns.
Special teams, always a big factor, especially as you move on to conference play. And the Sooners lead it here, 35-10, second half. Coming up, stay with us. Welcome back to Norman as the Sooners getting ready for the start of the second half of their home opener and a lead of 35-10 over Florida A&M. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Chad McKee with you here as Oklahoma trying to stay unbeaten in this young season, coming in ranked number 5. They'll have a week off next week before Kansas State. And Dave, I would guess that Bob Stoops has got to be thinking, man, we need to put these guys away early so I can play more people to find out exactly just how deep is this team.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, but he's torn between, I got to get my guys in rhythm because I have a week off, and you know, they're not really in rhythm yet. They're still making too many mistakes. It's not as precise as I want it, but I do want to see some other guys. I don't want to expose my starters to unnecessary snaps when I have the game in hand. So that's why Bob Stoops makes the big bucks. He's going to make those kind of decisions.
Such a dilemma here as college football. Boy, it's great to have it back as the Sooners take care of business here so far in Norman. And folks, after this one will be quickly around here in this state. Bedlam's always a topic, and Oklahoma State plays Arizona. You think Mike Stoops, who was the Arizona coach, have a little interest in watching that game as well, right?
Right. And Oklahoma State goes out there with a true freshman at the quarterback position. You know, he had the home field advantage and a non-worthy opponent, hung 84 points. And a little different story going out there to the desert playing Arizona to see how he responds.
So we're ready for the second half kickoff, and the Sooners will get possession here as Clay is the deep man, and he and Finch, and comes up to 15, the 20, breaks a tackle and hit hard at the 32-yard line as Finch carrying the football. And Oklahoma, pretty good field position there after the kick that came off the foot of Chase Varnadar.
Number ones are in the huddle right now in front of Bob Stoops. You know, you're looking at guys, Brown, McTwire. I mean, he still wants to see these guys get things established. And if they put a drive or two together that Bob feels good about, I think you'll start to see substitutions, but he's not totally happy with what he's seen yet.
Oklahoma with Landry Jones 15 of 23 for 211 and 2 scores in the first half, and tosses it out here. Stills, who, remember, that shoulder banged up a little bit there on that play where he slid into the wall, gets a 4-yard loss here.
Nice read by Bobby Jackson. No block on the perimeter. And boy, he just blew that up. It was an outstanding effort. Brandon Green, the tight end, couldn't get out there and knock Bobby Jackson off the play.
Stills' 8th reception of the evening for 87, make it 88 yards, and it's now 2nd and 13. Screenplay is blown up too as they knock it down. And Oklahoma, a little bit of a slow start here. It'll be 3rd and long coming up for the Sooners on their first possession. Good pressure by Scott that time. Hendrick Scott, the senior out of Tallahassee, Florida, was there.
Yeah, and the pressure is significant. And Landry Jones is retreating. You know, he's trying to set the screen up, just didn't get it up high enough, didn't get enough loft on it for that middle screen. And penalty flags and timeout called. Did Florida A&M have 12 men in the field? I mean, penalty flags were thrown. The coaches were calling timeout vehemently before was the timeout called before the flags.
Joe Taylor.
And we go substitution.
Yeah.
Defense, 12 men in the formation. A 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
It was too late. They were trying to call the penalty like Oklahoma did, but the flags were already thrown. So, you know, Joe Taylor said, hey, wait a second now. In the first half, we didn't get the benefit of that, but 5-yard penalty makes it, it's still 3rd and long, but it's not 3rd and 13, it's 3rd and 8. That's a horse of a different color.
And now Oklahoma moves, it looks like.
Now, there was the defensive lineman lurched forward. He caused the reaction. It used to be automatic on the offense. Now it's a judgment call by the officials. Did he react to the defensive player? What's that call going to be?
Full start, offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Watch early movement here and watch the reaction to it. Break the line of scrimmage into neutral and reacted to it. They call the false start on the tackle. It used to be that automatically. Now it's a judgment call by the official.
And referee Reggie Smith, glad to see he's got his mic working again too, so he can sort it out for us here. 3rd and 13 now. Landry Jones, and he delivers, Stills, spins. He's at the 50. First down, Oklahoma. Stills continues his outstanding evening with his 9th catch of the night. Pillow brings him down, but not until he picked up 21 yards.
Oklahoma Sooners now 5 of 8 on 3rd down.
And they come back quickly. Here's Stills again. Scampers out of bounds on the Rattler sideline.
The key play, Brown. What do you do without the football? Justin Brown blocks his tail off. He chopped his defender to the turf, made it easy for Stills to pick up yards on that receiver screen.
Moves the chains 10 yards.
Watch one receiver blocking for the other. Right there, Brown chops him to the turf. Excellent. Can't do any better than that. Matthews upset about it, but it was a very clean block by Justin Brown.
Brown, the 6'3" senior out of Wilmington, Delaware, left Penn State. Boy, what an impact he's making. And impressive that, heard earlier, that he still wants to get his degree from Penn State, and all of his hours here will transfer. His degree will still come from Penn State. On the ground this time is Clay. He stopped at the 33-yard line where Ross makes the tackle for the Rattlers.
I have a feeling Brown's one of those kind of kids where, as great a football player as he is, he's probably even a better person. You know, he's just one of those guys that does everything the right way. And guys like that only enhance your program. When your better players are your better people, you got a nice thing going on.
Caught 73 passes for over 1,000 yards in his years at Penn State. 2nd and 5 at the 33. Boom. Clay dancing through and then shows a little power as he lowers the shoulder in the boom down to the 21-yard line where Pillow makes for a not-so-soft landing.
Yeah, and this is what Bob Stoops wanted to see. Start to impose your will a little bit. Nice pull by the left guard, gets a clean block. Double team between right guard and center was outstanding. Around the horn came Adam Shedd. Off to the races.
Clay, he heard you. 10, 5, gets down inside to the 3-yard line. We'll see where they mark him stepping out. And Pillow again covering, but Sooners quickly underway.
Boy, nice block by the fullback, gets the kickout block. A little crack back by the wide receiver. Brown down the field doing it again, getting his block on the perimeter. Matthews is complaining that he was held. No call. Excellent blocking on the edge. Inside, they're moving.
So it's 1st and goal from the 4-yard line for Oklahoma.
Late entry. They only had 10 on the field.
And Clay, wow, how about that? Now the signal, touchdown Oklahoma. Shows you 4 tough yards. He just carried a couple into the end zone with him.
This reminded me of Williams' touchdown run from inside the 5-yard line. Offensive line come off the ball and sustain blocks. Now lower your pad level, low man wins. Lowered that pad level and ran over Pillow. Pillow was a little bit too soft in his downhill force on that. It's bottom line physics in football. Low man wins.
So Honeycutt on for the PAT. And it's good. Oklahoma with Clay getting into the touchdown parade. His first of the night, 42-10. Brennan Clay makes it 42-10. Clay last year 274 yards rushing, another 104 in the receiving game. And Clay, the 4-yarder for the score, but he also had 4 carries for 38 yards in that drive. Very impressive as Oklahoma. You said something about imposing their will. Pretty well what they did, wasn't it?
It was. Up front, fullback, wide receivers blocking on the edge. Coaches have to be excited about that one. It looked pretty efficient.
So Oklahoma will kick it off here. Patrick O'Hara and deep James Owens. And he will take a knee. We'll send it down to Chad McKee.
Just a quick injury update on OU starting safety Tony Jefferson. He was in the game for a while, came out to get his ankle retaped, re-entered the game, left again to the locker room, got some ice, and now has a boot on his right ankle. So Tony Jefferson's night is done, and we'll see what that bodes. Sooners have a bye week next week.
Yeah, usually a lot of times boot like that, Chad, is just precautionary, you know, keep the weight off and all that stuff. But obviously he's got himself a sprained ankle. The key is a high ankle sprain. By definition, high ankle sprain, tibia and fibula get pulled apart. A lot of soft tissue damage in between there. Hopefully it's nothing like that.
1st and 10 at the 25 for the Rattlers, and Fleming hands it off, and up the middle is Eddie Rocker, the senior out of Ocala, Florida. Sprints to the 30-yard line, picks up 5, where Tom Wharton makes the tackle.
Eddie Rocker at 5'8", 175 is more rocky now. I mean, sometimes surprises come in little packages. He packs a little thump to him.
Rocker, 6 carries, 26 yards in the first half. Also caught 1 pass. Fleming was 10 of 17, throwing 127 yards. Of course, he had that 75-yarder to Harvey for TD. Handoff here is good for a couple to Rocker. Out to the 32.5. Corey Nelson, the stopper. They give him 3 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 2 for the Rattlers.
You know, last week against Tennessee State, 13 carries, 90 yards, just slightly under 7 yards a carry. He had a 33-yard long carry. Did little Rocker, and I say little respectfully. I mean, he's one of those guys that it's trying to tackle a pectoral and a quadricep. He gives you no hitting surface at 5'8".
3rd and 2. Fleming. Incomplete. Intended for Harvey, and Colvin was there to cover.
Well, that's a great job by Colvin, Bill. He drove on that football. He broke on it like he was the intended receiver. That was just, he's entitled to his space on the field as well. That was just an outstanding play. Perfect leverage on the ball.
Rattlers, who were 7-4 a year ago, 5-3 in the MEAC. This year they're picked to finish 4th in the league. Same conference as Savannah State, but a different level team.
MEAC, is there Shadrach and Abednego too?
The kick here by Holdren, and watch out, here they come again as Oklahoma with Justin Brown is putting on a show in the punt return game. Some tough yards as he
got a flag.
And a flag on the play there.
Yeah.
Want to sort it out here before we go.
This one may nullify this potential effort.
During the return, clock in the back, receiving team number 23, 10-yard penalty, 1st down, timeout.
So a 42-yard punt. Nice return by Brown.
There's the block in the back right there.
We'll be right back. Beautiful picture on a beautiful night. Triple-digit temperatures here in Oklahoma. Way too much of the summer. And then voila, a storm yesterday blows through. And you couldn't have asked for a better night for college football.
I'll tell you, this is beautiful big man weather. I mean, I used to love to play at night when it was 70 degrees. You could run all day. I mean, you felt like it's so energized.
What about the little guys? Isn't it a nice night for them too?
They can run all day no matter what. But when it's 105 degrees, the big men, the Clydesdales, need a lot of water.
Well, Oklahoma is taking care of the Sooner fans' thirst so far with it 42-10. And after the penalty backed up, though, 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, and that'll take care of that. Is off to the races. Here come the Sooners again. Williams trying to go the distance and does. Touchdown, 89 yards.
Okay, Trey Millard, big old fullback, you got to live vicariously as you get down the football field and get a tremendous kick-out block. Watch number 33 sort it out. Watch this, kick-out, boom, and off to the races. Nobody there. His safety takes a horrible angle, and Williams is, see you later, sayonara. Look at my name on the back of my jersey.
That'll give your average a bit of a boost.
Man, 4th touchdown from all different distances and angles.
And the Sooners with 10:34 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Williams an 89-yard TD run capped by the PAT from Honeycutt. Lead it 49-10.
Let's see what he's got. A little celebration action. Ooh, easy McGuire. Don't take him to the brick wall. We've already had one incident of brick wall.
We've had enough guys, that have done exactly that. And well, last year Blake Bell had 4 TDs in the Baylor game. And Williams gets his 4th with 10:34 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
He's got 5 on the season now. He had one from 65 long distance last week against UTEP. This one was what, 80? What?
89.
89. My goodness. He can take it to the house, and he's shown that ability to make you miss and run away from you. And then one of his runs tonight, 2nd and 3rd effort, individually got him a touchdown, show him the power. Bob Stoops gonna like what he sees out of the junior college transfer for sure.
Williams, high school ball in San Diego, Mira Mesa High School. Ran for 2,287 yards as a senior and 24 scores, and then outstanding career at Arizona Western Junior College, and has shown no problems in taking care of business at the D1 level. And Owens is again the deep man here. O'Hara with a kick. He receives it at the 2. And is brought down there. How about Williams? Here's how 4 TDs come about.
And this one, offensive line, great job. He doesn't get hit till he crosses the end zone. He scores some touch football. This one, though, drive the legs, finish, extend. Big time effort there. Nice job by the fullback. Nice job by Brown on the perimeter. So you have Millard and Brown blocking. Millard makes a nice block on this one, and Williams is off to the races. I'm going to give Trey Millard a little bit of love, too, number 33 in that red jersey. He's blocked from fullback. He's blocked from H-back in motion. This kid is a blocking machine. The backfield tonight's been productive.
Well, you got to go back to the last time the Sooners had a 70-yard run from scrimmage. A 70-yard run was DeMarco Murray against A&M back in 08. And, of course, DeMarco Murray, pretty good performance for the Dallas Cowboys in their season opener the other night. They're finding out just how valuable he is. And there's Williams in his 2nd game with an 89-yarder.
And one final comment on Trey Millard, the number 33, the fullback, H-back move guy. He's an honorary member of the Hogs. I mean, he's the 6th blocker out there. He has done a tremendous job all night. It's like having an extra guard out there in the backfield, the way he's knocked bodies around.
Now the other way for Fleming. It is 2nd and 4 here. Play action. Looking upfield for Harvey, and incomplete.
Okay, that time, Bill, when you saw the throw to Harvey, what we have is safety over the top. On the 75-yard touchdown, there was no safety over the top. He got confused and assignment error because of formation, whatever happened to him. This time, no harm at all because it was a cornerback underneath, safety over the top.
So it makes a 3rd and 4 for the Rattlers of Florida A&M, trailing 49-10. 14-0 Sooners at the quarter, 35-10 at the break, and 2 more touchdowns here to start the 3rd quarter. Rattlers trying to slow it down a bit. Incomplete and nearly picked off there on the diving attempt. That was Harris that nearly snagged it.
Good coverage by Colvin once again. Tremendous play by Harris, making big effort. Mike Stoops has to be excited about the effort that his defensive players are giving him. You know, they have to clean up the mental errors, but physically, and they're playing hard.
Well, yeah, and they've given up their first touchdown as a defense this year, but it came on a 75-yard pass play.
Mental error.
Not like anybody has been able to grind it out on them, and granted, game 2, but making progress. 4th and 4. And again, Brown is the deep man all by himself at the 30.
Kick away from him. You got to do it. Directional kick. Make it tougher on him. Don't kick it down the middle of the field anymore. He's already proven he can beat you.
Holdren does that, keeps it away from the explosive Justin Brown. We'll be back with more in a moment. How about Oklahoma special team star Justin Brown tonight?
Boy, put your foot in the ground to get up the field. You're not going to arm tackle him. He's 6'3", 210. You got to hit him to get him on the ground. This one 43 yards out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And then this one's even better. Make a decision, put your foot in the rock to get up the field, pick up some blockers. 62 yards later, another short field for his offensive football team. And then this one nullified by penalty, but he picks up 5, 10, 15, about 14, 15-yard return right there. That dog will hunt all day, every day. The 2 punts that have counted, he's averaging half a football field on his returns. That's flipping field position big time.
That's what Brown will do for you.
Yes.
They won't be asking that any longer, will they? Not that they needed to after his stellar career at Penn State. Now the Sooners getting a few other people into the action here as the nice carry that time by Millard. And Oklahoma giving Trey Millard, talked about the blocks he's provided. Yeah. He said, give me the football.
Absolutely. You got to reward this guy. All he's done has been a great teammate blocking people. So, hey, have the tailback block for me one time. And I'll tell you what, Brendan Clay did a heck of a job. Nice kick-out block for him, reversing roles for each other.
Millard ran for a couple touchdowns last year, had 1 receiving. And look at that gap. Oh, and the hurdler as he goes over the 45-yard line of the Rattlers.
He kind of did the Edwin Moses deal. I mean, he went up, and away. Check this out, little misdirection. Size him up, good, go up and over. Pretty good stuff.
15 yards.
Man, Shevitz, that's strong. If I did that, land, ACL, MCL, PCL, every CL gone. Cartilage, I mean, strewn all over the field.
If you got that high, yes, I
that's
be
true.
assured that would be the landing. And
the Sunday.
They've had earthquakes up here in Oklahoma recently.
Little tremor. So, I could get the Sunday paper under my vertical.
Bill Landame laughing, Chad McKee with you here tonight. And Oklahoma just shredding him on the ground now as Williams said, I want more. He's already got 4 touchdowns, and in fact, that 89-yarder was the 7th longest in OU history. The touchdown run he had. We got a
Jonathan Butler there. Yeah, Jonathan Butler's gimpy at the 25-yard line. He's trying to hopscotch off the field. Needs a pogo stick out there. Now I think honestly, A&M is starting to wear down. They didn't travel that many bodies, and they're starting to just wear down big time. And I think the training staff thought he was cramping, but he's saying, no, it's my ankle.
Jonathan Butler with the hurt there, and you see the breathing that's going on out there.
Hands on hips and heavy breathing usually means I'm tired, coach.
Yep, Joe Taylor's club will be home next week to take on Hampton. And the Rattlers know it's a long night here with 8:20 to go in the third, and it's 49-10 Oklahoma. Rattlers on the short side, 49-10, but Joe Taylor, the coach of Florida A&M, he played with a dear friend of mine at Western Illinois, and I called him because I hadn't met Joe before, and he said, unbelievable guy, great coach, Bill. Well, those numbers justify the coaching end, and great success throughout his career at Virginia Union, Hampton, and now his 5th year at Florida A&M. And he knew coming in here it wasn't going to be a party, but his ball club has shown a lot, and he's also missing, 3 or 4 key players that were suspended for this game.
Absolutely. What he wants to see right now, Bill, is it's easy to play hard when you're up 49-10. Who's going to play hard for me when you're down 49-10? Those are the guys that I want to try to develop. He wants his guys to still play hard even though they're down.
And on the carry, stacked up to the unsort as Williams carrying the football once again.
Joe Taylor and Joe Taylor and Bob Stoops coached together in the Hula Bowl, Bill, after Oklahoma won the national championship. And Bob Stoops said he has a picture of Joe Taylor and himself coaching out there in Hawaii in sandals and flip-flops. I mean, that's a nice little coaching job. I take that job.
Williams, 10 carries, 156 yards now for Oklahoma. 2nd and 6 with the ball on the 22 of the Rattlers. Landry Jones picks a receiver, completes it, and Millard slipping out of the backfield. And a couple of runs, now reception, 12 yards on the play. I beg your pardon, that's Marshall Musil. Who, like Millard, has made a couple of key blocks tonight. Now he's getting a little chance to carry the ball.
He had a double block on one of the punt returns by Brown. I mean, he picked off a couple guys, get Brown going, and he did a nice job running a nice little option route.
Makes it 1st and 10 So they can go right inside the 1, and they will be necessary. Here is Clay with a touchdown. Clay gets his second TD.
Well, now Oklahoma's knocking people off their feet. George Maxey that time, linebacker for Florida A&M, got cut to the ground. And when you get cut in half, you can't do anything, and that there's a natural lane there, and Clay took advantage of it. Let's see number 6 in the white jersey, Clay. Cuts it up inside right there, taken to the turf. Nice job, outstanding job on the perimeter once again by the wide receiver. That time it was the Colton. Good effort.
Clay's 8th carry, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Honeycutt for the PAT. It is good. And Oklahoma 56-10 with a 21-point quarter, and we have 6:49 remaining in the 3rd.
Yeah, this is about to get Oogie Boogie, unfortunately.
Wow. Well, you know, I told you that they better have another set ponies over there for the schooner, because we still got a ways to go.
Yeah, that's parents' money's being well spent there. How about the flag holder right there?
You got to apply for that position as one of the Roughnecks? Or is that what the freshman gets?
Yeah, right. You got to work your way up to a better seat location.
That's right. Getting dragged upside down outside the bottom of the wagon.
And all the blood had rushed to your head there. Give you a little headache.
Oklahoma will kick it off again. Another sellout house here tonight at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Last year they played to 104% capacity. The Sooners, this is their 81st straight home sellout. Since Bob Stoops arrived, every seat's been bought. And the kick from O'Hara. Owens waits at the 1. 10, 15. Oh, hit hard, knocked backwards at the 20-yard line. And Millard made the tackle after a 19-yard gain.
Yeah, guess who? I mean, all he wants to do, Millard, is thump people. He wants to run them over, he wants to block them on the ground, pancake them, and he wants to smack them covering kicks. That's a football player right there. I love that guy. I mean, I'll take him. That's guys like that is if you have enough of those on your roster, you win a lot of games. A lot of blue collar, dirty work, loving every minute of it. Football player.
So Florida A&M possession with 6:44 remaining in the 3rd. 1st and 10, and new quarterback relieving Damon Fleming, and Tyler Bass with a pitch and catch to the wing, and that's Etheridge with the reception. So Bass connects on his first pass. 6'3", 220, a senior from Memphis, transferred from Memphis.
Nice little run fake, little naked bootleg. Hard run fake to the right, let the quarterback roll out to the left all on his own, unprotected. Ran a little tight end drag off of it. Well executed by Florida A&M. Oklahoma bit on the play fake pretty hard defensively.
So 1st and 10 on the 33 for Florida A&M as Bass sees if he can get a move and gives it off to Owens, and Owens, good hard run, for he is tackled at the 36-yard line of the Rattlers.
You know, Bill, 2 things I thought were going to be in Oklahoma's favor big time tonight. 3rd down and red zone. Oklahoma's been in the red zone 7 times, has scored 7 touchdowns. Can't do any better than that. A&M has not sniffed the red zone. The red zone's a twilight zone. They don't know what the red zone's like right now. That's how well, you know, Oklahoma's defense has played, keeping them out of the red zone, and they've really handled them on 3rd down on both sides of the ball as well.
Bass threw for a touchdown last week against Tennessee State on his only pass play. Connects to Owens here. Owens looking for some help, tries to cut back against the grain. Picks up another yard or 2 before he is stopped at the 37-yard line. And
okay, Bill, you have backups in the game. These guys want snaps. Take a look at how many guys pursue the ball. You got fresh legs, catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's like a swarm of red bees to the football. And that's what Mike Stoops wants to see. Everybody run to the ball. You run to the ball, good things happen.
3rd and 5. Oklahoma crushing A&M 56-10. And Rattlers trying to get some offensive consistency, give their defense a little breather, and they do it with Harvey on the receiving end. That'll move the chains. Yeah, no question about that. Laundry everywhere. Gary Simon, I think, is the player that got him, a freshman from St. Petersburg, Florida.
And anytime you get your hands up in the grill.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 27, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You have to lower your aiming point. Anytime you tackle up around the shoulders, you have a propensity to get it up around the grill. And he grabbed it right around the side of the face mask. You can see long arms right there. Whoop, reach out, grab them, tug. Ooh, that's the Exorcist. You don't want to see that.
So it gives them a first down at the 36 now of Oklahoma, and things looking up for the Rattlers under the direction of Tyler Bass. Hands it off, spinning is Owens. Not much doing, got a couple for his stop at the 33. Aaron Franklin, sophomore from Marshall, Texas, makes the stop.
And this is the stage of the game that you talked about, Bill. Okay, Bob Stoops wants to get guys in there to see if he has quality depth for Big 12 play. Because when you go through the meat grinder of the Big 12, you're going to get some guys nicked up. Do I have a next man in at defensive tackle? Do I have a next man in at middle linebacker? I got to find out.
Remember, the Sooners week off next week, and then Kansas State to open Big 12 play. Owens and squirts for a couple. We'll check in with Chad McKee. What about another quarterback playing for Oklahoma?
Well, we may just see that in a few moments. Blake Bell is loosening on the sidelines. Can't confirm that Landry Jones' night is done. Hasn't taken off his shoulder pads or anything. But the Belldozer is loosening his right arm, so we'll see if he enters on the next OU series.
Yeah, people that have followed Oklahoma well aware of his running exploits and coming in short yardage situations last year and the start of this year. But this guy can launch it, too. Big guy, strong arm. And, again, you're talking about for Oklahoma, if something happens, Landry Jones, who's my guy?
Right, is he the guy?
First things first, they need to stop Bass. He escapes a couple of defenders. Now on the ground at the 30, he slides. But he's short of the first down. He needed to get to the 26-yard line. Shannon made the stop there. Frank Shannon, a redshirt freshman out of Dallas Skyline High School, 6'1", 230.
Ben Gazzara, run for your life. Here comes the pressure. Okay, now you mark the ball where you start your slide. And he started his slide. He slid a yard or so, but you have to move it back to the 20, just inside the 29-yard line where he gave himself up and started the slide. They still have not penetrated the red zone. A&M Rattlers kicking field goal from snap of the ball from the 29.
You're dating yourself for that reference, but all those 50 and older knew who you're talking about. As the Varnador gives the field goal attempt, and it is good. So Florida A&M makes the most of it there as a 46-yard field goal, and it's 56-13.
There's a coach that's trying to everything he can to keep the spirit of his football team alive. Joe Taylor says, hey, we'll take a field goal drive. You know, I mean, this is a darn good defense, even though they're liberally substituting at this point in time. I want to see my football team finish the game. No matter how bad it gets, I don't want to see one guy spit the bit. I don't want to see one guy quit. Right now, I'm evaluating the character and fiber of my football team. How is it going to turn out?
2:10 remaining here in the third quarter as Oklahoma will get the kickoff. And we'll see if Blake Bell comes on in place of Landry Jones as Joe Taylor strolls the sidelines for the Rattlers. First ever meeting between these two schools. Oklahoma with 4 players from Florida. Roy Finch is probably the one that's closest to Tallahassee from Niceville, Florida.
Blake Bell, he's rung a few bells, you know, with his power running the football. I mean, he's Tim Tebow in that regard. The way he can, do things with his feet and legs. He's built like Tim Tebow. He's a bigger body guy. He's not, the real quick change of direction guy.
The kickoff to Oklahoma. The Sooners take it inside the 10. And a big hole again. And spinning and wheeling out of bounds is Roy Finch. Talked about the Floridian. Nice return. Matthews makes the tackle. Fox College Football is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. and by Ford. It's the Built Tough Truck event at your Oklahoma Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.
How'd you like to be Vonador, Bill? That was the kicker who was trying to cover, and he came up on Finch, and Finch made a spin move on him that was unbelievable, and the place kicker lurched out into space. No chance.
Blake Bell does come on to replace Landry Jones. He's probably wondering, wait a minute, it's 1st and 10. What am I doing out here? And we're in midfield, right? So he hands it off to Whaley, and Whaley gets a whirl across to the 43-yard line. Dave was talking about Vonador. Take a look at what he has to do here.
It's a tough deal. Whoops. Man, I think I saw a ghost. He was there. Where did he go? Man, man. New fullback, David Driscoll. David Driscoll just gets a crushing block, allowing his running back to sashay unmolested.
1st and 10, the ball on the 43 at the 11-yard pickup by Whaley. And again, the handoff here. And Whaley had that jersey pulled on, but he stays in bounds before he dances out. Now remember, Whaley, the senior from Lawton, Oklahoma, transferred from Langston, took everybody by surprise when he came in last year as a walk-on. Ended up with 627 yards, but broke his ankle against Kansas State and limited to just 7 games. He's still kind of rounding back into just game shape.
I think he's lost a little explosion, or he's a little tentative, I think, because of the broken ankle. He at least has experienced contact now. The biggest thing to get over is the mental, psychological part of getting hit and realizing you're going to be okay.
On a Lawton MacArthur High School. 2nd and 6 after that 4-yard run, and he reads it right here. And the 1st down and more as he takes it to the 30-yard line of Florida A&M.
Nice patience and vision right there. He pressed the line of scrimmage pretty well before he made his first cut. Let the big boys up front do their job.
9 yards on the play, and the Sooners inside a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. And Oklahoma looking for their 4th touchdown of the period.
They officially have put A&M in the meat grinder in the 2nd half. I mean, they are just knocking them around up front.
They've run for 284 yards and passed for 252 right now.
Ooh.
And Bell goes down here as good pressure that time, and Bobby Jackson, the tackler, getting the sack on Blake Bell. -6 on that play.
And they brought the blitz, and at that point Bell has to realize, you know, get rid of the football. Decide and make a quicker decision, and don't put your team in jeopardy, forcing it somewhere, but don't take the sack. Throw the football away legally, throw it in the direction of a receiver, but don't put yourself behind the 8 ball, behind the chains like that.
Bell 6'6", 254, the sophomore out of Wichita, and a chance to talk to the coaching staff here as the 3rd quarter expires, and it'll be a 2nd and 16 when we come back for the 4th quarter. The Sooners have got it rolling, though. 56-13 here in Norman. Oklahoma, where the Sooners are rolling here. And they've been rolling since Bob Stoops arrived on the scene after a rough period from 90 to 98. Look what's happened under the direction of Stoops. 1 national title, 7 Big 12 championships, 13 consecutive bowl appearances, and they come out firing to start the 4th quarter as this pass is complete to Brandon Green from Bell. That was a 2nd and 16, by the way.
Pretty good throw. Put that in a good spot with some good velocity on it. You know, when you throw with that kind of accuracy and that kind of velocity, you get a chance.
So the Sooners knocking on the door again in the red zone. 1st and 10, the ball on the 18-yard line. And Blake Bell, his first series, incomplete, trying to come right back to Green. We showed you that quick graphic. What about Bob Stoops and his time here impresses you the most? When we'll take a look here after this penalty is called here, Dave.
Okay.
I think Denmark covering on that play. We'll see what the ruling is here.
Yeah, they're going to call interference on him. I thought there could have been some early contact there. I don't know if they're deciding to pick that flag up or not.
What are you doing?
Denmark's saying pick it up.
There is no foul on the play. 2nd down.
and they have decided to pick it up. I think, you know, what makes Bob Stoops special, what separates him from the rest? Everything. I mean, he's a top-flight recruiter. He's a great game day coach. He's a tremendous strategist. I mean, I don't think he has a weakness. And, you know, he gets great players to come here, and they have fun when they come here.
Consistency. It's what hits me in everything he does.
Absolutely. The guy has it. He has the it factor.
Oklahoma has got Dom Whaley inside the 5-yard line as he is brought down by Denmark.
I think he's got the game of football in perspective, too. You know, he really does. The thing about Bob Stoops that people don't know as much as they should, how much he does for the community from a charitable standpoint. He gives back. He knows he's lucky. He knows he's living his dream, and he gives back. He gives back a ton. And he's always in Children's Hospital.
Yeah,
and other
money,
places.
charity, time.
Everything.
Yeah, totally involved.
Yep.
First and goal to go, and Whaley cuts it up. Touchdown, Oklahoma, as the Sooners pass the 60 mark.
8 red zone possessions, 8 red zone touchdowns. Every time they've been in a goal to go situation, which is probably half of those red zone possessions, they have pounded it in there. Offensive line, beautiful job of fitting their blocks and finishing. As an offensive lineman, that's what your goal is. Fit and then finish. Get where you're supposed to be, and then get there with your feet, finish with your hands.
Well, it's now 62-13 as Honeycutt comes on for the PAT. It might be like that Sooner Schooner wagon. And he misses this one as it hits the upright.
And he grabs his helmet in disbelief.
Well, you can understand. Last year he was 55 of 56. We'll be right back. Here's that wagon again. 62-13. Welcome back with it 62-13. The Sooners hitting the 60 mark for the first time since, well, last season against Ball State. 62 they had. And we are early minutes of the fourth quarter, though. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Chad McKee with you here as the Oklahoma Sooners, their home opener, very impressive tonight. There's been a few bumps, but overall, and now they're getting the opportunity to watch and see how deep this team is and make some evaluations on players who get some considerable playing time, not just a series or two. As this one goes out of the end zone, they'll bring it back out.
And the thing that's exciting to the coaches, the kids that are in there now, they crave these snaps. I mean, they work hard all week, every week for this opportunity to get in the football game to show Coach Stoops, hey, I know what my role is now, but I want an opportunity to expand my role. I want to catch your eye. I want to make some plays that you're going to have to say, man, I got to get this kid out in the field more, and now they have their chance to do that.
And it's 1st and 10 for Florida A&M from the 25-yard line.
1st and 10, Florida A&M from the 25.
Bass, the quarterback again, delivers this one and caught on the play that time. 83, that's Mason Felix. Picks up a couple of yards.
Nice adjustment on naked bootleg by Mike Stoops and his defensive players right there. They ran it again, but the opposite way. Hard play fake to the left, naked bootleg to the right. Defensive lineman out there right in the face is Peterson, and he's pressuring it, and the coverage is good down the field. I mean, they don't make the same mistake twice. That's encouraging.
2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line for the Rattlers. Bass hands it off. Owens sheds a tackler. Owens scoots up the sideline, picks up first down yardage, and we'll move it out to the 40-yard line for Florida A&M, where Franklin met him and got him out of bounds. A 12-yard pickup.
Ibugloye had an opportunity and couldn't make the play on it. Once he missed the tackle, it was bouncing to the outside because he had the run support on the edge. He was the guy that was supposed to set the edge and couldn't finish it.
1st and 10 at the 40. Tyler Bass, a senior out of Memphis, in control now for the Rattlers. And Owens is wrapped up hard and brought down the 42-yard line. Jordan Phillips, redshirt freshman from Towanda, Kansas with the tackle. Redshirted last year. He was 6'6", 318 pounds.
Man, oh man, what's that kid eating? You know,
everything.
Yeah, you go to practice. Look at how many bars on that face mask. Wow, that's a 6 bar there. I think you can cook cheeseburgers on that bad boy. Little propane gas. You got a grill going.
It's all food related with you, especially when we haven't eaten in a few hours.
That's right on there.
2nd and 9, the ball at the 41. Bass and gets sacked on the play as there's Anderson, Marquis Anderson with the tackle.
You know, in practice yesterday with Coach Stoops, I'm like, you know, these guys are in shorts and t-shirts, so they don't have numbers on. So I'm saying, Coach, who's that guy over there? Oh, Dave, that's a true freshman. He's 18 years old. I said, you kidding me? How big is he? 6'5", 265. Chisholm. I'm like, they always have players in the funnel. I mean, Coach Stoops has done a great job of recruiting depth at every position group. Boy, they passed the eyeball test now.
Yeah, Anderson, 6'3", 265 from Cibolo, Texas, Steele High School. 3rd and 13 is what that sack made it. And now pushing forward on the dive is the receiver, Felix again, but they'll have to kick it away on a 4th down and long after a 4-yard gain. Lamar Harris there to make the stop, senior from Gilmer, Texas for the Sooners.
Oklahoma has dominated on 3rd down on both sides of the football, really. Defensively, they've been stout. They came in 10th in the nation, allowing only 19% on 3rd down.
2 of 14 tonight.
Yeah, so they're going to be a heck of a lot better. They're 3 of 16 coming in, so now they're 5 out of 30. They've only allowed 5 out of 30 opportunities.
And the punt, a low kick. Again, they stay away from Brown. And a timeout is called. He's got a reason to smile, as do all the Sooners. 62-13.
Welcome back to Norman with the Sooners comfortably ahead 62-13. They're getting some of their younger players in, and that includes offensive lineman, deep snapper Austin Woods, wearing 50 in crimson. He's in at right guard right now, but he was bothered by sore throat and swollen glands this past spring and then diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And guys, he undergoes 3 to 4 hours of chemotherapy every other week. Some days it's chemotherapy followed by practice. He's even taken some teammates along with him for some of those treatments in Oklahoma City. His last treatment will be in early October, and reports on his last scan of his lymph nodes were excellent. Got a chance to meet his parents there in attendance today. A wonderful story, but seems to be doing well. 50 in crimson, a guy we're especially rooting for.
No question. The game's important to that young man. You know, a guy like that, you think you have problems, you pick your problems up and you go home. I mean, this kid is, the commitment that he has, he's a leader. Everybody else is saying, am I doing enough? Look what Austin Woods is doing. He's having chemotherapy and coming out to practice. You kidding me?
Bell completes it across the middle here out to the 35-yard line, and Decree made the tackle on Bester. Colton Bester, a junior from Scuba, Mississippi. And Dave, almost everybody, unfortunately, knows someone that's gone through some type of horrendous cancer treatment. And can you imagine that individual coming out to play football and practice and go through all of that? It's absolutely incredible.
It's amazing. Bob Stoops said he had chemo on Tuesday, and then he showed up to practice on Wednesday. It's 105 degrees, and Bob Stoops says, I don't think so today, Austin. No, I want to practice. He goes, no, I practice it. This kid is unbelievably committed.
He's loving triple figure digit heat. How about this? Pass across midfield to Shepard on the reception. Had his first as a Sooner earlier. Makes a diving grab here. And yeah, the depth is with this ball club, isn't it?
It really is. And here's another great story we talked about. You know, his dad was a star here and unfortunately passed away way too young. And he's honoring his dad by wearing the number. And there's multiple generations of this family that have played here at Oklahoma. Tremendous story as well. You got 2 great stories out there in the offensive side of the football right now for Oklahoma.
Shepard's second carry for 39 yards total now as the Sooners march it again. They have hit the 600-yard mark in total offense now with 296 rushing, 304 passing. And Blake Bell, pocket breaks down here. He's strong, but not that strong as he tries to pull away from a couple. Brought down for a loss on the play at the 45, and Pedrick Scott leading the charge for the Rattler defensive front.
Tyrus Thompson loses his headgear at number 71. He has to leave the field as he's trying to pick up protection. You see the headgear fly, and he's unprotected. Picks that headgear up, has to exit stage right. He's out for a snap. New college football rule.
2nd and 19 for Bell now as the Sooners backed up at the 46-yard line officially. Look to the sideline for the call.
Signals and placards.
Or numbers, multiple signal callers on every college sideline now. It's really become an art form, hasn't it?
Really has.
Little dump off pass here, and then Shepard. A little dance to the outside, and he's mad because he thought he might break it. And Vasti made the tackle that time.
His brain was going a little bit faster than his feet. I mean, he knew what he wanted to do and made the second cut, and then all of a sudden the third cut and kind of tripped over his own feet. I'll tell you, he's special though. Got some quicks.
3rd and 9 at the 36-yard line. Changing the play up here as Bell again glances to the sideline. They reset. Bell chased out of the pocket. He knows what to do with it though. Runs, does he get it? It appears he did as he dives for the first down to the 26-yard line. That'll move the chains.
Boy, you get him on the perimeter. He's bigger than the cornerback, safeties, and outside linebacker. That's a big body guy. Makes a nice little move, a little wiggle. Not bad. Gets right up the football field, keeps those shoulder pads squared up. Watch a little fake pass, wiggle, dive, first down.
Ball at the 26-yard line. Remember, Bell last year ran for 13 touchdowns. Short yardage situations, trying to lead the Sooners here. And the handoff to Finch. He spins and breaks a couple and gets down inside the 15. Roy Finch, the junior from Niceville, Florida, picks up 11 yards. His first carry of the season.
Finch puts the defense in a pinch right here. I mean, he just spins away from it, splits a couple of defenders. Tell you what, they have so much depth, so much talent on this football team. It's extraordinary.
Finch ran for 605 yards last season and 3 touchdowns, caught 34 passes for 296, and made as a slot receiver this year and a return man. And Finch, again, room to roam and strolls into the end zone as Oklahoma tacks on another one, and the Sooners 68-13 as Finch goes 15 yards for the score.
Deron Neal, watch the block that he has on the perimeter. Number 13 in the red jersey right there. Pancake, see ya. Knocked him down as he tried to get up, knocked him down again. Man, that's just abuse on the perimeter. The wide receivers have done an outstanding job. They've turned 7-yard gains into 70-yard gains tonight with their efforts on the perimeter.
And for Oklahoma, the 8th rushing touchdown of the night. Now, they had set 7 back in 07 against North Texas. Finch gives them their 8th rushing touchdown of the night. It's 69-13 after that kick. Welcome back. Hope they've been in the weight room, that whole crew, because 69-13. You don't want to be the victim if they haven't been working out on a regular basis.
Wouldn't you get nauseous after a while being tossed around that much?
Well, I think our buddy Jim Knox over the years can give training on that,
That's
right?
True. That's
Mr.
true.
Sideline himself with Fox Sports. As Bob Stoops looks on, 8th place, 71 yards. Finch, a 15-yard TD run. The Sooner record for rushing touchdowns as a team back in 1980, they ran for 12 against Colorado. Wow. Here's the kick, and Owens with the return. And gang tackled near the 30-yard line, where the Rattlers will take over with 5:52 to go in the football game.
Well, where the rubber meets the road is the red zone. And red zone tonight, Oklahoma's 9 for 9. It should be called the green zone because they haven't stopped whatsoever. They've just, full speed ahead. Call it the green zone. They're there 9 times and punching in the end zone, all 9 of them. On the flip side of it, A&M hasn't even gotten there one time. That tells you all you need to know about this football game.
Yardage tonight, 637 for Oklahoma, 220 for Florida A&M. And remember, they got 75 on the one pass play for their lone touchdown of the night. Bass hands it off here.
Someone blew a shoe. The tire came out. Going to have to take a pit stop. One of the big old linemen. Yeah, it's not. Just throw it on there. No, but you don't even have to tie it up, do you? Lineman up. They get that low center. Jamal Gay, 6'2", 365. Blew a tire. That was a quick pit stop, though. Get that changed out right away.
Yeah, they didn't put a watch on it, but that didn't take long. 5:23 on this one to go as far as time is concerned. Clock running here with the Sooners rolling over the Rattlers. And Bass rolls out again, throws this one to the sideline, and the coaches can catch too.
Well, Mike Stoops, as you take a look at the defensive side of it, he came up with that football. His defense has given up 1 touchdown in 8 quarters of play, almost 8 quarters of play, 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this final quarter, and it was on a broken coverage, 75-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and long, which will stick in his craw. It's always good to have something to be mad at your team about when you play a game like this, and that's the good news. You know, they handle A&M 69-13, but there are so many things that need to be fixed and can be corrected, and the coach is going to take advantage of every one of them.
Well, it's 3rd and 8 for the Rattlers. They're 2 of 14 in third down situations, and this one is complete to Etheridge. He spins forward and very close to the first down. We'll see.
And that 3rd down, Mike Stoops doesn't like any conversion on 3rd down. He took the headset off and bristled at his defense about giving up that 1st down on a 3rd down conversion. He's very, very demanding of his players and his assistant coaches in a positive way. He's got high standards. He has high standards for himself. And like he said, I take this stuff personally. I want everybody else to, too.
1st and 10 at the 40 for Florida A&M. Nothing happening on that one. Well, the rushing touchdowns, the pace was set tonight by Damian Williams, who ran for 156 yards and 4 scores. And that 156 yards rushing is the most yards in a debut at Owen Field for Oklahoma. Wow. For a guy's first game here as a Sooner. And the JUCO transfer from Arizona Western, very impressive before he sat down early tonight.
Absolutely, he is something.
Clay has been great. Whaley got in the act, and then Finch with the TD, and in between, Landry Jones has thrown for 252 yards and 2 scores. On the ground again for the Rattlers as Favors makes the tackle.
You know, you look at Bob and Mike Stoops. Bob Stoops is so thrilled to have Mike Stoops back as his defensive coordinator. Football's all about trust. And Bob Stoops, I mean, it's his blood. He trusts Mike. He trusts everything about Mike. Quarterbacks have to trust receivers. Head coaches have to trust their assistant coaches. I mean, that's what it's all about in the game of football. You got to trust the guy next to you.
3rd down and 5 here. Jordan has gotten the last couple of carries for the Rattlers and will get it again and not going anywhere. And people should understand too, Dave, that Brent Venables was a terrific coach, well-liked, did an outstanding job here. Sometimes change just happens, though, and it's good for everybody. And Mike Stoops coming back from Arizona, years as a head coach, will be valuable to what he provides now. Brent Venables will go on and do well, and it's just sometimes you need a change, and there's not like somebody's at fault for anything.
Absolutely. Brent Venables is at Clemson as defensive coordinator, and he'll do a great job there. And Mike Stoops went to Arizona as the head coach. He's bringing all those experiences as a head coach. That helps his brother, too. I mean, you have somebody that has been in the head coach's shoes as your defensive coordinator. That's a helpful thing.
The punt is grabbed at around the 30-yard line, and Oklahoma will get it back with 2:35 to go. Will they break the 70 mark? Stick around. Our player of the game, how about Damian Williams with his 4-touchdown performance?
4 touchdowns, over 150 yards, and he scored them all different fashion. He showed speed, he showed ability to be patient, let his offensive line work. He pressed the line of scrimmage when he got in the open field. He ran away from people. That's when you know you have a special running back, when he can make you miss and run away from you, and then when he has to lower his shoulder pads and thump you, do it all like that.
Yeah, you see that Oklahoma Ford built tough? Yeah, it certainly fits as our player of the game tonight, Damian Williams. So the Sooners will run it here, and Finch, who ran wild the last couple of carries, quickly starts this drive and brings it out to midfield. A couple yards shy at the 48-yard line. He picked up 16, and the third quarterback of the night, Drew Allen from San Antonio, comes in. He's 6'5", 226, a junior out of Alamo Heights in San Antonio.
You know, final thing about Damian Williams, he averaged over 10 yards a carry last week. He bettered it this week, over 15 yards a carry. That's crazy.
Watch out, Kansas State.
5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns on 25 lugs.
Whistles bring a halt to things here.
Offense, number 59, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Speaking of Kansas State, if you didn't catch it, they 52-13 over Miami today. Very impressive win. Iowa State beats Iowa in Iowa City 9-6. Anytime you beat your rival out of the Big Ten like that, that's a huge win for the Cyclones.
Paul Rhodes, love the guy. I mean, he always engineers upsets, major upsets, every single year it seems like. And to knock off Iowa 2 years in a row now, he's knocked them off. That's pretty strong.
Texas Tech beat Texas State in San Marcos 58-10, and Texas State had beaten Houston last week, so that certainly got their
number
attention.
52, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, they got it in reverse right now. Back-to-back false starts. They'll give Coach Stoops something to chew on him about at the end of the game in the fourth quarter.
Texas tonight taking care of New Mexico, 31-zip. Still underway down in Austin. Bob Davie back in coaching, the head coach of the Lobos, and getting a rude welcome.
They're treating the Lobos like hobos down there.
First and 20. Here's Allen, hands it off, and Finch. He's wanted to be one of those 100-yard guys tonight. He's got a minute 08 to do it.
Yeah. You know, that's the thing. Last week, even the game offensively maybe slaughtered. They had a 100-yard rusher and a 100-yard receiver for the 27th time in Bob Stoops' coaching history here at Oklahoma. That's not an everyday occurrence. Have a guy rush for 100, have a guy receive the football for 100. Everybody, such high expectations. It's almost like Bob Stoops said last year, won the opener big and ended up going 10-3. Rather build to a crescendo.
And Stills tonight receives for 120 yards on 10 grabs. Williams runs for 156. So they do that again as face mask as they call here.
Boy, 3 flags on that one. Everybody saw that one.
Whaley tied up.
Laundry everywhere. So back-to-back weeks it happens in 27th and 28th time in his coaching career. It's not that common a thing, and it happens back-to-back. So they're doing some things right, let's face it.
Well, and people, if they're up, we'll make the call here.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 41, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
No question about that. And the reason for this game, Dave, is because with all the realignment and conference shuffling, TCU was already on the schedule. And
right.
So they had to create an opening for a non-conference game, and Florida A&M became the victim, if you will.
Right.
But Oklahoma's never to be questioned on their schedule. Joe Castiglione and Bob Stoops, they got Notre Dame later this year. UTEP on the road is a representative game.
Absolutely.
Every year they're playing somebody of note.
Played Florida State.
Yeah, so that's not a problem.
No doubt.
And Florida A&M was not a problem tonight as Oklahoma rolls 69-13 over the Rattlers to go 2-0 for the 5th-ranked Sooners. They have 8 rushing touchdowns, 4 of them by Williams. Landry Jones tossed for 252 and a pair of scores. And Joe Taylor congratulates Coach Stoops as the Sooners cruise tonight. What a game, 69-13.
Wonder if they're talking about that time they spent together in Hawaii at the hula ball.
Probably had a little more fun than Joe Taylor had tonight.
Right.
Send it down now to Chad McKee.
All right, guys, with Damian Williams, one of the stars of the game tonight for the Sooners, 4 scores. Have you had a game where you were across the goal line that many times?
Oh no, not here and not yet. You know, coming out of junior college, that's kind of what we did. We like to score, so I had a couple of touchdowns. But I like to give credit to my old line. They did all that for me. So.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you moving from junior college to this level?
Oh, just the size and the speed level, but everything else, it's football, so you got to know how to play the game.
After the game down in El Paso last week, I know you all wanted to execute a little bit better offensively. How did you feel about it?
Oh, the game at UTEP, you know, we didn't play as hard as we could have. You know, we had to fix the little mistakes, and we came out here. We fixed the little mistakes, but we got more to work on. So.
You got a bye week coming up. Would you rather play again next week, or you want some time off?
Oh, yeah, we need some time off, you know, get the little mistakes out the way and get ready for K-State.
All right, Damian, congratulations on a great performance. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you. We're going to visit in just a second here with Justin Brown.
All right, thanks very much, Chad, and congratulations to Damian Williams, the junior from San Diego, California. Very impressive to come in here, and we understand what the competition is, but he's done very, very well, and all you could be expecting from someone like that. Let's send it back down to Chad, another man with him.
All right, thank you, Bill. We got Justin Brown with us after his night in the return game. That has been kind of a bonus for you. Were you familiar with doing a lot of that at Penn State, and how acclimated were you to it coming in?
Yeah, you know, I've been returning punt returns since my freshman year, so Coach Stoops felt that they needed me back there. You know, I was trying to do whatever was going to help the team, so that's why I felt I could, you know, help the team the best.
You are also big blocking downfield for Kenny and for the running game. How much pride do you take in that part of it?
A lot of pride. You know, I did a lot of blocking at Penn State, you know, with being such run-oriented, so I did a lot of blocking, and, you know, I take a lot of pride in that. You know, as being a receiver, you got to be well-rounded and do a lot of things, you know, so blocking is one of them.
Great, Justin. We appreciate it. Thanks. We'll let you get in with your teammates. Gentlemen, back up to you.
Yeah, he gets it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a complete football player, and there are some things to work on, but it was an improvement, I think. A lot of explosive plays, a lot of big plays in this game for Oklahoma.
And the Sooners certainly took care of business. A lot of pluses in here. They wanted better execution. They got it. They certainly wanted improvement. They certainly appeared to get that on both sides of the football, and a convincing win, 69-13 over the Rattlers of Florida A&M. They fall to 0-2. Oklahoma, ranked number 5 in the country, moves to 2-0 on a night where they roll up 662 yards of total offense. On the ground, through the air, the Sooners wallop Florida A&M. Hope you enjoyed the telecast tonight. For Dave Lapham, Chad McKee, Dean Blevins, our entire crew, I'm Bill Land saying so long from Norman, where the Sooners trounced Florida A&M 69-13.